Going, guys. Push the sun through.
Don't let the moon intrude. Up a race, hit it like nude. No, it would.
How you guys doing, guys? It is Friday, guys. Who's ready for this sesh, guys? I know I am. We got a beer here. We're gonna have a great time, guys. It's a beautiful Friday. How you doing, Colombian? What up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Afternoon for me, I guess. How you guys doing? You know what's so funny? I get all prepped for these videos. What up, David? I get all prepped. I don't put my monitors in, and then once I put my monitors in, it's like I zone out. I'm in the zone. I'm with you guys. I'm here. You guys don't know how important these monitors are. I always see these YouTubers with them, and I never understood them. And I could definitely understand how like you need them when you have multiple people because you actually hear everybody. I can hear myself. About time, dude. I know. Was that am I a few minutes late? I'm a few minutes late, maybe. Playing Warzone. All right, all right. Well, if nobody else jumps on, I'll jump on some Warzone with you. Let's see here. I'm gonna do a couple dab marines first, so we'll get there. 2:10 Colorado. It's 11:10 here, so I'm not that late. I'm only 10 minutes late on my time, guys. But let me show you guys something. Check it out, guys. I got the nail. The nail came in. This is a 10 millimeter banger. It fits in here. We got the Klein Earl Jr. Klein Recycler. Probably his hardest rig he makes. If you guys look up most difficult glass thing to make, it's called the Klein Bottle. And it's this part right here. It goes around and in and like touches the bottom. So he turned it into a fucking rig. Nobody else has ever did it before. He did it. Shout out to him. This is all slippery because it's a brand new. I got everything cleaned out here. Check it out. You got to put a lot of water in this, as you guys see, all the way up here, almost to the bend, because it does a crazy function in here. It's got 2 chambers. So it's going to come up here. It's going to perk up here, and it's going to actually recycle back down this backside. Let's see if I can get both sides for you. You guys are crazy. Yeah, I got to work on getting moderators for sure, guys. I might make Alex and Tinfoil both moderators. You guys can fight it out. Where can I buy any Earl Juniors? EarlJuniorGlass.com. I think he might have a website. Go to his Instagram, Earl Junior Glass. These rigs are pretty expensive. I don't know. They're going for probably like 3 to 5,000, I think. So I think a clear one you might be able to get for 3 or so, 3,500. Once you start adding glass, probably 4 or more, I guess. It's definitely one of my more expensive rigs in my collection for sure, guys. But and it's all about function. I mean, look at everything that went into this. Again, please look up hardest glass to design. You're going to see the Klein that's built into this. So super cool, guys. We're going to do a review, a dab on it. I haven't dabbed it since Shino's been here because he has all the cool 10 millimeters. But anyhow, check this out, guys. So I got my carb cap. This carb cap was from a bucket on my Geodome. Hell yeah, dude. Dab it up. If you have my link, if anybody has my link, I think you guys click my link and jump right in if you guys want to dab with me. If not, just hang out with me. I can always resend links too if I need. But check it out, guys. So this thing works as a pretty cool little carb cap here. Fits on here pretty good. Watch me break the damn nail before I do it. It's so fucking slip, it just slides right out. So I got to be a little careful with this till we get a little claim in there to get that nail a little stickier. But yeah, I got that. I got this. What else do I got? I got a whole bunch of shit to dab, guys. Wow, a blue one like that sold for 9,500. There you go. So, I mean, I think they're going up in prices. It's very expensive rig here, guys. Yeah, if you look these up, these ain't cheap. It's always funny. That's why the other day I had this one out. I had my whole Earl Jr. collection. Might be my Earl Jr. collection's probably 20 to 25,000, maybe something like that. It's not cheap. Anyway, before I do that, I got to hope. Do you still have the slime rig? That my beer glass one. Beer glass one broke. But I got a whole bunch of diamonds here. I got some more of these astronaut diamonds. I went into the store trying to buy out all their ice cream cake, and I only was able to get one more. Got their last one. I got some more of the strawberry jam. I might use some of that. And I still got a little more of this ice cream cake, and I got a little of everything. I got a little Royal OG, little this, little that. We'll see where we go here. I'm gonna definitely use some of these diamonds. So these diamonds, I got these diamonds just because they're cheap, 12 bucks out the door, and they're always fire. I like to use these to kick up my other dabs. Beautiful little diamonds from astronauts. They call these space pink gelato. Oh, 9,500. Woo! 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 Man, you guys make two-hand this rig. Honestly, I was cleaning this rig earlier, guys, and since it's a bubble, it's slippery. So you want to keep two hands on it. Look at that perk inside of there. Crazy perk inside of it. Beautiful rig here. Very hard to make. So I'm very happy to have that rig. All right, guys. It's a really nice. Yeah, it's one of my nicest. That's the one I got. That's my newest rig too. I would say that one. I mean, all my rigs are worth, something. My Earl Jr. is nice. That one's definitely my nicest. I mean, you got to figure my mug rig. That's a one of one. I still would like that rig is worth as much as somebody's willing to pay because nobody's going to ever fucking make that rig again. He only made one of those rigs, so that mug rig might be worth more if you find the right buyer. But he does make a lot of these, which is really sick. But yeah, I'm excited to use it, guys. I got the 10 millimeter now. I also got that 18 to 14, so I could use that Megatron. Why did I want to say Megatron? That Metatron rig. I've been watching too much Star Wars. All right, guys. So we got the Royal. Which one should I do? Which one should I do? I think I'm going to save the strawberry till I get out of some of these others. So we got a little more of this Royal OG. I got maybe one dab of it from yesterday, and I got a little bit of. Let me smell it again. I'm excited. I was literally gonna buy all ice cream cake, but the guy goes, "We only have one." I'm like, "Oh." And why do you talk in that voice too? And he goes, "I don't know. I was born with this voice." I said, "Sorry about that. Sorry." The short kicked ass. All right, guys, let's do it. Who's ready? Oh. Check it out, guys. Bom, 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 bom. Got the beer. Let's get it on, guys. Loaded Bowl, Short John, Short Bunch, Vaporizers. Pour your beers, pour your shots. We're going to do a little dab marine here. We got the Earl Jr. Klein Recycler. Again, thousands of dollars. God, you fucking freaked me out when you said that number. Jesus Christ. Now I want to I got to bust out I'm going to go get, I would never even use white gloves. Have you ever noticed they always say like on like really, really special stuff, like bones and stuff, like old fossils, you're not supposed to use gloves because you could drop it. And trust me, your hands are definitely more built for, you want to be able to feel it. But man, look at that. He also put he did everything right in here. This fucking, he did, what did they call it? Remember like you were talking about my beer glass. He pushed it into the bottom. That way it stays so stable. Fucking beautiful rig. Oh, he said, yeah. Oh, sorry. I used the same link to join. Yeah, give it a shot. If it doesn't work, Dank, I can fire you off a new one. I think it would, but if not, I could always send you a new one. How about this? I'll just send you a new one. Just see if I don't know. It might not work. I might. Oh, it did work. Awesome. Well, see, this is going to be so much easier. Dank already got my fucking link now. What up?
Damn, it worked.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I was like, I think I did it on Sheeto once. I just hit the link and jumped in one of his. Yeah, it's got the welded down stem. Bah, bah, bah. Beautiful rig here. How you been, Dank?
Pretty good. Drove up to Ann Arbor and saw a bunch of my friends yesterday, and then I ran this last night.
Oh, the Pyrex. Oh shit. Look at that fire. Look at that. That looks good and purged. No bubbles.
No, I went for about 32 hours. I think there's probably only 20 grams here, maybe.
Yeah. What temp? Really low? Like 90 or something?
Yeah, I keep it below 100.
Nice.
Definitely.
Yeah. Depending on stability, I always went super low. Some of the stuff that got real shattery, real thick, the real thick, stable shit, I sometimes had to go a little higher, but I never tried to go over 100, like you said. All right, so I'm going to do a little dab of this OG, and I might mix it with some of these diamonds I got. I was so mad. I was going to go, ooh, man, that looks so good. That's like shatter? Damn.
It's
Like
like a pull and
pull,
snap.
pull and snap, man. Fucking, you don't hear that. You don't hear that pull and snap anymore. Wait, no, that ain't the one I wanted to use. Where's my good one? There we go. Break some glass. Pull and snap. All right, let me get this dab. I got a big dab to do because I haven't dabbed all morning.
It's like blue menthol gas.
Whoops, dropped a dab. Blue menthol gas, nice. So I got a Budweiser here, and we got this. Like, he just looked this fucking rig up. He said some of these rigs go for almost $10,000. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, definitely don't juggle then.
Yeah, no juggling this rig. Sorry, guys. We got to get to 1 million, like 100, maybe 100,000 views. I'll fucking juggle it. Have to have enough views to make it worth in case I break it. Oh, shit. That's what I notice these guys on YouTube. You always see these guys do these crazy things like whistling diesel and shit. And it's like they're making so much money off the fucking views. They can obviously destroy a fucking Ferrari. Anyway, I love whistling diesel. No hate to him. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. I wish he posted more, to be honest with you. I'm a big car YouTuber guy. I watch a lot of the car YouTubes like DDE. DDE is actually right out here. They used to be out here by Newport Beach and Huntington. They moved out to Compton. They moved into what's his name's old shop. But I love car shit. I'm a big car guy.
Nice. I've had a couple different old school cars. I had like a 82 Chevy Caprice was my first car. And then I've had a couple different Cutlasses.
Nice.
I had an 82 Cadillac that was really nice.
I think my first car was a Plymouth Sundance, and I put nitrous in the trunk, and I think I cracked. No, I broke my valves, I believe, on that one. I ended up going from that one to the Eagle Talon. That's where I ended up switching over to the Eagle Talon. TSI all-wheel drive. I had 3 of them, 1990, and those DSM cars are just beautiful.
Yeah, I worked with a guy, I think, that had a green Talon that thing, it was real smooth and it would get real fast.
Yeah, it's fast. Well, especially if you get the all-wheel drive with the turbo. My stock one, I took it out to like the track, and my stock one was running 12 nines in the quarter. That's fast for stock. And then you put an intercooler on it and a super new turbocharger, you're coming in the tens. So it's a very fast car. Had to change the suspension. I think I added some Nitto tires also, but very fast car. I don't even know what to time this fucking dab at. This is going to be interesting. Brand new nail. Fucking heated up. Look at that. Not even chazed. What the fuck is up with this shit? I'll chaz it out here in a minute, guys. I'm at over 1,000 degrees. Woo, I'm not used to that. My chaz nail won't even get to 1,000. My chaz nail stops at about 850. It's like, well, I'm chaz. That's about as hot as I get. But yeah, I'm excited. I got this cool little carb cap I used for my bucket. So I'm going to use it for this. I hate those fucking buckets back in the day. I'm excited. Shido's wanted this rig. He's been wanting to trade me for it, but if I trade him for it, it's going to take a minute. And also, it's just worth so much.
Right now, it's worth what it is.
Well, I knew it's already worth at least 3 to 5, technically, probably. I could definitely get 3 to 5 quick. I might be able to get more if I sat on it, but he doesn't make a lot of them. That's the other issue. So it's like if you order one, you have to wait months and months and months to get it. It took me 6 months probably to get this one. All right, load your balls, roll joints, robot, turn on your vaporizer, pour shots. Let's try to do this. Damn, David, did you get the ice cream cake from Wavy? That shit is fire. Man, this hit hard. Oh. Holy shit, that hit so hard. I don't have any Q-tips on me.
I'm trying to make do with a couple used ones myself.
I'm making one out of a paper towel. Holy shit, that was a perfect dab. Got a good temp out of that one. Even got a Q-tip. Not too bad. I'm glad you joined me, dude. Yeah, keep that link. If you're ever bored, you jump on. I love having people.
I just wasn't sure if they expired or not.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't either. I'm pretty sure if it ever does expire, just hit me up. I'll fire out another one. We got Darth Blaze here on Kick. We're live on Kick, YouTube, and Twitch. How you doing, Darth Blaze? Nice rig. Yes, it is. Beautiful rig. Earl Jr. Klein Recycler. I've had this. I literally got this rig, guys, Christmas of 2023. So it's over a year old already, but I never got a fucking nail for it. So I only hit it like 2 times since then, and that was in both of the videos with Shido. But what a fucking rig. Most people who get this, they never put the water up high enough since it's like a double barrel recycler almost because it recycles up on this side and then it rolls over and then it dumps down this side, which is a really sick idea. And pretty cool. Well, I want to see China knock this one off. You know, they always can, though. They always can. I remember Mothership. They said back in the day, they go, "Oh, we can't knock off Mothership. It's too hard." You know, and all they do is somebody comes over and buys one and they take it back there and, you know, basically look at what pieces they need to make it. And then they make it and they make it a lot cheaper and shittier. This one, like Earl Jr.'s shit, is so fucking hard. I mean, I probably couldn't break it. I have carpet underneath me, thank God. But I definitely couldn't break it dropping on carpet. But maybe cement, possibly. You remember those indestructible bongs back in the day? They had these bongs, at least in California when I first came, that were like they had Kong bong. They had a couple others. They had some weird names, but then they had some that they would just tell the millimeter thickness. So it'd be like 8 millimeter, 10 millimeter. You know, how thick is your bong? You know, and I think they went up to like somewhere like 12, 14 millimeter bongs. And I had one of them on my channel. It was a big bong, and it was supposedly indestructible. It had the joint, instead of the joint sticking out, it was like in the bong. So it was smooth. So you couldn't even break the fucking joint, you know, because it was built into the bong, because the bong was so fucking thick that they just turned the side into the joint, right? And so I was like, it's indestructible. I had it on the channel for, I don't know, a few months. I had it on my balcony in Long Beach when I did all my balcony videos, and I had it there. I finished the video, set the bong down, forgot it was there, turned around, kneed the bong. The bong was on the fucking ground. The ground wasn't even cement. It was like whatever a fucking balcony's made out of. It was like a wood, but it wasn't wood. It was, I don't know, it was soft but hard. Anyway, long story short, it tipped over and just exploded. It must have hit like the sweet spot on the bong, just exploded into like a billion pieces. And I was like, great. I always hate that because back then I didn't have a lot of rigs. And so, like, if I had a bong or whatever and it broke, I was literally I would go back to like my bubbler or something. And that just sucked. Going from like a bong to a pipe.
Yeah, that's my main flower is my bong, and yeah, I've gotten to where this bad boy was only like $40 at the head shop, so that way if I do break it, you know, I just shoot over there and grab another one.
Yeah. Well, thank God they're getting cheaper now. I
Right.
mean, because like 12
Back in
years
the day,
ago.
this would have been 200. You know.
Yeah, I was going to say 100, 150, $200 just for a simple bong, which is just sad. And then you got to figure out if you wanted a roar bong or whatever, you're talking 400, $500, you know. My Sovereignty, I think I got that for $350, which was a good deal. But I got it right at the shop. Like if you ordered it online through like High Priority Glass, because High Priority, I knew their website forever because I used to use it. And then literally I moved to Long Beach and the actual glass shop was right down the road. So it's so cool to, you see this famous like website and you're able just to walk in the shop and whatever you see on the website, you can actually see it in person, which was pretty cool.
I think the first like really nice bongs that came around here, my group of friends with a roar. and then one of us got it, and then the rest of us got one, and then we would on like Friday and Saturday nights have roar wars, and like
That's cool.
I'd I'd pack up the slide, and then you have to finish it, and then vice versa. And
Damn,
these
that's
things
how
would
that's
just
that's how that's how me and Shido do it. Shido would load me a bowl and he'd be like, "No, that's all for you." That was the first thing I'd learned when I came to California like 15, 16 years ago. I met this dude, he was a grower and he packed me a bowl and he handed me it was like I said, first time I'm seeing like a glass on glass bong. He also had like an ash, like it had like three perks on it. It was like one of the ones I'd build where you had like an ash catcher perk plus a water perk, and then it hits the fucking bong. It's just fucking, real scientific. And I wasn't used to it at the time, and he packs me this fatty, and I remember I hit it, and he goes, "That's all for you." And that was the first time in my life I never heard of somebody just give me a whole fucking bowl, because we were all stingy in Ohio and shit. Be like, you got to hit it, everybody gets it, and I got so fucking high. I never forget. I was so high. I was driving at the time. And my buddy goes, "Ready to go?" And I go, "I need a couple more minutes." And I was like, one of those times where I was like, "I'm really not safe to drive right now. We're gonna have to sit down for a little bit." That was a good time though. But your tolerance builds. But hitting out of a really good bong and, like you said, clearing a whole bowl, whoo, that's how you do it.
Yeah, because in Ohio, if you just rip the whole bowl down, then people would be like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, where's mine?
Right. And then I remember like the first time that my buddy had some wax that he had gotten from I don't know if it was from a shop in Michigan or not. I think it might have been. And he had this big, huge bamboo tube that was hollow, and it had wax in the bottom, but it had like a magnetic connect for like those little tiny screw-on glass jars.
Right.
And then he would fill that with wax, and then we would hit it with the torch, and he would just be like, "All right, just keep filling it, keep filling it, keep filling it." And then he would pull that thing, so he would clear this thing, and it was all just dab vapor. And then
Yeah, yeah.
we had never gotten wax hits before, so then we sit there and cough for like 20 minutes.
I remember, I think it was almost like 18 years ago when I was in Ohio selling weed and shit. I would see these guys on YouTube with these crazy bongs. And like I said, the only ones we had were at like waterbeds and stuff, the graphics bongs, this, that, and the other. And I seen these guys with these multiple perk bongs, and I always wanted one. And I saw this dude on YouTube who took a whole bunch of Gatorade bottles and you cut the bottoms off and you stack them a certain way, and you can make multiple perk levels. And I was able to make a bong with like 6 different perks. So it perk, 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 perk all the way up. You just stack the Gatorade bottles, add the water and shit, and you had some like hot glue around it or whatever. And I used to make my own bongs when I was younger, and I always thought that was cool. And like I said, when I got to California, I finally got to buy the nicer ones. But everybody's done stuff like that. We made it out of the can, like we talked about. Remember the metal, fittings, especially if you work at like a shop or something, you get a couple fittings you can put together, make a little pipe.
Well, yeah, because in Ohio, for the longest time, it was what under 100 grams was just a fine. But if you got caught with a pipe, you could go to jail for 30 days.
That's, you know what? I was in Ohio, what, from 95 to 2002, and I grew weed, and I never really thought about the rules of it. I always had a
Yeah,
ball.
right.
I remember once I was like, when I was younger, I got in an argument with my mom. I was like 18. I was still at the house. I was 17. I moved out at 17. I moved out right after this, and I was growing weed in the house, and I had my closet was my bedroom, so I had the light on 24/7. So I had just this beaming out of my light. So I had to fucking put a towel just to try. I'm like trying to block off the light because my lights are just 24/7 on. And then in my bedroom, I kept my bedroom in half and put a tarp down, and I had a flower room and had my bedroom. Anyway, I got in a big argument with my mom, and these cops came in, and I had two rooms upstairs, and so one was my girl, one was my bedroom, and so the cops came upstairs and they came into my bedroom. I never forget. I had a desk with a computer, and I had a bong under the desk. And my brother knew that I had a whole bunch of weed shit up there, and the cops was coming up at me, and so I was like freaked out. And my brother then got up in the cop's face and just acted insane to the point of they ignored what the hell was going on with me, and they were just wondering why my brother was acting crazy. And they all knew my brother because like he went to the high school, and they all worked at the high school, and they knew my dad who went to high school. And my brother's like, "Why are you here? You guys pulled me over when I was drunk before, and never gave me a DUI. And I know you did." And one cop goes, "You weren't drunk." And he goes, "Oh, yes, I was." And the cops got all confused and ended up just leaving. I was like, thank God. I remember I had a bong under my desk when they came in, and they're like there, and the bong's right there, and I'm just sitting here like, hey, what's up? I never thought about how much trouble I mean, let alone the grow. But I mean, shit, I had a lot of
Right.
weed. That was crazy. That was a bad day. It was a good day that left. It was funny my brother did that though. But I saved his ass on one too. One time we left a fucking bar. We left a dog pound as we were leaving. He goes, I want Burger King. And we're in the left turn lane, and Burger King's straight and to the left. And he just goes straight through the red light in the left turn lane, through the red light, and then turns left into Burger King. There was a cop behind us the whole time, right? He didn't notice this, right? So he just not only is he going straight in a left lane, he's going through a fucking red light and turns in Burger King, pulls into the lot, orders his food. Cop comes around and turns on his light, and he's like, hold on, I gotta deal with this, and he pulls off out of the drive-through, right? He pulls in the thing, the cop comes over and he walks up to my side of the window. I'm in the passenger seat, and I'm laughing my ass off because I was like, Justin, I kept yelling at him. I said, "Don't go straight. You're in the left turn lane. Don't go straight." And I go, "You're gonna get a DUI." I literally was saying it, and I was just laughing. And he comes over and goes, "Why are you laughing?" I go, "Because he went straight through a left turn light through a red light, and I knew he shouldn't have did it." And the cop goes, "Give me your license." And I go, "Yeah, give him your license." And he goes, "No, your license." And I go, "My license?" I'm like sitting in the passenger seat all confused at this fucking point. I was like, all right. Pulled out my license. I lived in California at the time. I was just visiting. I had a California driver's license, right? Handed my license. Oh boy, that did not go over, boy. They don't like seeing a California boy in Ohio, right? Pulled out, "Why are you here, son?" And I just was like, dude, I used to live here. I go, I fucking know these roads probably better than you. I was like, I fucking used to go up and down 47, fucking doing 100 miles an hour. But I was like, I said, I live in California now. And he's like, uh-huh. How do you know him? And I go, he's my brother. And he has a different last name than me. And he's like, why does he have to? And he's like, all questioning me. I don't know if he thought I was there to like fucking buy drugs or whatever. He ends up coming back, giving me my driver's license. He goes, drive safe. And he left. Didn't give my brother a DUI, didn't get his fucking driver's license, didn't even fucking talk to my fucking brother. It was the weirdest. Every now and then you feel like you're in a fucking like parallel universe or something. Like, what the fuck just happened there? Like did you pull him over for me? Like, I mean, what was the whole point of that one? You know what? They might have, because I know when I was in the bar, I was handing my ID, and there was probably somebody in the bar. There's a California boy out here.
Oh,
Like, I
they're like, oh,
guarantee
he
it's.
smells like weed.
Oh yeah, exactly, exactly. Because I live there, and they have in like in these small towns in Sydney, Ohio, and shit. These small towns, they have these guys who aren't even cops. They're just like wannabe cops, and they'll like fucking just rat you out. We had this one guy drove around in a fucking Bronco pickup truck. Wasn't even a cop. Would just drive around late at night and just fucking call in people to the cops and shit.
Like a police scanner in the Bronco.
Yeah. Well, I remember one time I was driving. I was meeting Jennifer, and she was in Otterbein in Columbus, and I was in Sydney at the time. And I had my Eagle Talon, and I was just hauling ass on the back roads on 47. And I know every time you see a city, you slow down, because in these small towns and these back roads, they'll have a cop usually right at the fucking beginning of the city, ready to clock you at radar, right? Because it drops down from 55 to like 35 or something. And so I always know when I slow down, this, that, and the other. I remember I hit this one small town. It was a small, small town. And as soon as I pulled in, I came in real slow. I saw the cop. Cop was right there. It was like 2 in the morning because I was leaving her place heading home. And cop fucking rolls in behind me. He follows me through the whole fucking city. As soon as I leave the city, he pulls off, and he literally just wanted me to get the fuck out of his city. And I was like, that's how they are in there, and it was cool. I didn't mind it. I used to go pretty quick on the back roads, but you got to know what to do and when the cops are.
Yeah, when I would be driving back and forth from Ohio State ATI and Worcester, same thing. Every time you hit one of those small towns, if it was late night in the morning, they're 55, 25, like immediately, and then they're just on you, just waiting for you to not, hit the line or not use a turn signal, something to pull you over.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I've had them pull me over for nothing. They would literally say, why are you up here? And, I know they're probably not allowed to do that, but they did it to me before. I'd be like, I'm just heading here. And he goes, all right, well, keep on going. I'll follow you. And they'll just follow you out of the fucking city. It's crazy.
Yeah, some of the counties in Ohio are really crazy, but then there's others like Lucas, where Toledo's at, and they have such a revolving door in their court system that They
Right.
could do who knows what right in front of them. They just drive right past and don't care.
Yeah, see, well, I lived in I wasn't from there. I lived in Colum I was went to high school in Columbus, and then my mom and met a guy and moved to Sydney, Ohio, and that's north of Dayton, south of Troy, and that's a small town, and then you got even smaller towns. We had a small town just near no close to us called Port Jefferson, and that was off of, like, the 47, and Port Jefferson, I think, had 450 people, had one gas station and one convenience store, and that isn't even the smallest. Because I became a 7-Up sales rep in Ohio, so I was on all the and there's a lot of farm country out there. I went to this one place, it was called, like, Rose, Ohio, maybe, something like that, and I never forget, I think the population of that town was, like, 28 or something, or 30 possibly. It had one store, kid you not. And the only reason it's a town, because it had this one store, is a convenience store. Didn't even have a gas station. But the convenience store was a post office also. So the little convenience store was also a post office. And I remember I had to go there to put up 7-Up, and it was just I was like insane. It was like literally you can point to like the 5 houses that make up the city. It was just a crazy little small town, but that's how it is there. And like I said, a lot of them are country boys. A lot of them big, that's how they roll in, that part of Ohio, and like big towns, small towns, like you said, highway changing speeds was the craziest though. You got to know how to do that. I had a lot of people get tickets. I got tickets, especially, the time you got to watch out for in Ohio is like holidays. I remember Memorial Day. I got 2 tickets on the same fucking day. uh,
Yeah, Memorial Day, Labor Day, and then Sunday here for Super Bowl. They'll be out everywhere.
those cops. You know what was worse though? They ain't as bad. They do kind of hide. They kind of sit off to the side on these country roads. But in Indiana, they're allowed to like hide. And I remember when I lived in Indiana, they'll be like, you're driving on a highway, and they'll be behind the bridge off to the side where you won't even see them until you pass them. I mean, what do they call that? Entrapment or something? But I guess they're allowed to do it in Indiana. They would hide, and it's like yeah, I never forget. You got 2 tickets in Indiana because you're past them, and you don't even see them, and your radar won't even kick. They won't even kick their fucking radar until you pass them, and then they fucking come and get you. I mean, that was crazy. They also have like undercover cars in Indiana too, which was crazy.
Yeah, you like can't see that they're a police car till you get right next to them.
Well, I did that in Ohio too. I want to do a quick dab here, but in Ohio, a quick story, real quick. I was driving in Ohio, and I had my Eagle Talent hauling ass down. I was in Columbus, so I was on I forget what it was, the 270, whatever the hell the Outer Bank was, and I was hauling ass, and I seen this fucking black Camaro, all black windows, whole 9 yards, and he's up beside me, and we're zipping through cars and shit, and we're doing it for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, probably 5 minutes. And then I was like, we were just keeping up. I was waiting for him to pull away, and he didn't. And so I was like, fuck it. And I downshifted. I knew I could go faster. I was just kind of like hoping we were going pretty quick at the time. We were doing like 110 or something. And I was like getting tired of it. So I fucking downshifted and just pulled away, right? And took off. And then I see these strobe of red and black lights. And then I slowed down. He fucking had a fucking red on his dashboard. And like he pulled me over, and he goes, I was undercover, and he didn't give me a ticket. He goes, but you can't be doing that. And I go, but you were racing me for like X amount of minutes, and now you decide to pull me over because I fucking just passed you. That was the only reason you fucking pulled me over. And he goes, we can't be doing that. Anyway, that was back. I have so many crazy cop stories because this was before they had the stupid fucking camera and shit. And in those small town Ohio, in those small towns, dude, sometimes you get away with murder with some of these cops if you're nice enough. So I always was pretty nice with the cops when I could be.
Yeah, we were. I had to have been probably a sophomore, so I was 16, and my friend Brianna was 17, and then our other 2 friends, both named Dave, but we called the one guy Keebler because he looked like a Keebler elf, but he's like super super tall. Anyway, we're smoking like close to the airport, like outside of Toledo, and it was like way before 9/11 and whatnot, so it's a lot more lax. And
Right.
Dave's got this pipe that you like is like a little pipe with a hose, and you suction cup it to the window, and then you just pass the hose around. So we're smoking, we're parked here. It's like whatever time, midnight, 1 in the morning. We're smoking. The whole car is just filled with smoke, and Dave's passing the thing around, where all of our eyes are just gumballs, and all of a sudden, tap 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 on the window.
That's the worst thing to hear when you're sitting there.
I'm in the back seat with Bree, and So Dave rolls the window down and it's on the passenger side. And of course it's it's a Waterville Township cop and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" "Oh, that's what you guys are doing." And this smoke's just coming out like hitting him
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
face.
yeah.
And he's like, "All right, roll down the windows, idiots." So we all roll down the windows. It clears out, and he's like, "All right." Looks at the driver. They're both named Dave up front, and he's like, "Let me get your license." And so Keebler, the David that's closest to him, hands him his because they're all bait. The cop's like looks at him funny, but takes it anyway. Looks at it. He's like, "All right," gives it back to him, and then he goes, "What's your name?" And then before the driver could answer, Keebler goes, "David Quinn." And the cop's like, "Shut up." And we're like, "Oh no." So he's like, "Driver, what is your name?" And he's like, "Oh, David Taylor." He's like, "All right." And then the cop looks down and he's like, "All right, son, will you go ahead and put yourself out?" And now we're like, "What is going on?" And the pipe that suction covered the window had gotten knocked off when he rolled the window down. And he's,
Oh,
we're all blasted. And so now his sweater has caught fire in his lap because the ashes are all in there. So now he's patting himself out. Cop takes the pipe, takes all of our weed, and he's like, "All right, who's sober to drive?" And Bree goes, in her cutest little girl voice, "I am," and he's like, "Let me see your ID." So he looks at her ID and he's like, "All right, you live literally like a quarter mile away. You're gonna get in this car and you're gonna drive home, and I don't want to see you again." And we're like, "All
yeah.
right, sounds good." So we drive to Bruce's house, sit there for like a half hour, and then here comes that cop driving past again to make sure we're still there.
Just yeah, exactly. That
And then
was
we
good.
took off and bought a quarter ounce from my buddy at like 3 in the morning.
That's how it is in small towns, guys. Small towns have stories, dude. That's funny. All right,
Now
let's
they
do
got
it.
cameras. That stuff
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
fly.
yeah. They can't do it. I'm gonna tell you a crazy story here after we do this dab here of how I got out of a DUI because my family knew the cops. It's like my whole family loved cops, and I was this weird oddball who was like always doing the bad stuff. All my family's like got friends who are cops, and it's like, oh, there's Nick. It's like I'm just smoking weed, guys. Chill out. All right, I'm getting this hot, guys. Here's what I'm gonna do here. I'm actually kicking it up here a notch. I'm gonna do a dab out. So I got one of these guys. I had to try a little sippy sippy. It was a little fully fully. All right, we got that. We got a beer. We got a crazy fat dab here. All right. Load your bowls, Roy Jones, Roy turn your vaporizers, pour your beers, pour your shots. Let's see what temp we're at. Let's go, guys. Oh, that hit so good. Oh, baby. That was a good one. Yeah, we can have some crazy small town Ohio stories. How about that? All right, let's see here. I got a couple good ones. Let's see. I probably told some of these. Here's one. So this is my DUI story, which is a sad one, but I was I knew this one cop because my whole family knew him since I was a kid. And the cop would come over and like knew my grandfather, my grandfather, my uncle, the whole 9 yards. I knew him forever, right? And my family, my last name Killian, they all have the name Killian. And it's kind of a unique name. It only has one L. And they always knew us. Even when I went to my high school, Gahanna Lincoln, my uncle went there, my aunt went there, and like whole fucking family went there. To the point of when I went there, this old lady was like, "Are you related to Uncle or Roy?" And I go, "Yeah, he's my uncle." And she goes, "You better not be as bad as him." But anyway, so so I'm in Ohio and I'm visiting And I was from California at the time, and I ended up going to a bar, and me and my wife's doing some stuff, and it started raining, this, that, and the other, and the truck got slick. And as we hit the corner, I had a big 3/4 ton GMC diesel truck at the time, and I had nothing in the back of it, right? And I wasn't used to this weather, and it started raining right as we left, and I had like 6 beers, and and as I turned, I gunned it, and as I gunned it, I lost control of the rear end. It went all the way around, hit a brand new WRX Subaru, and then I was like, "Fuck, I shouldn't be here doing this," and I gunned it again, and it kept spinning around, then hit a brand new Honda, like, Civic. And then my front axle, my wheel popped off the axle, right? And I jumped out of the vehicle, and everybody started yelling at me, and I ran. And my buddy who was with me, guys, he goes, "You can't run. It's going to get worse." And I go, "All right, I guess you're right." And so I started coming back, and these people come out. This one dude's like, "I just bought." Both of these people were like, "I literally just bought my car." And I was just like, told, and they're like freaking out. A WRX, the Subaru, and the new Civic at the time was just like, I was like, ah. And they're all yelling at me and getting so angry. And then the cops came, and it was in Columbus, and the cops all came, and the one cop got me, and he put me in the back seat of the cop car, and I looked at him, and I haven't been there, I haven't seen him in like 20 years, maybe. And I was like, man, he looks so familiar. And he's the head sheriff, like an old dude who was like head of. And he put me in the back seat, and I'm sitting there. And he's not even talking to me. And he has my driver's license. He knows my name, you know. And I said, I was there for my grandfather's funeral. And I'm sorry about this. I said, I don't know if this will help, but I'm here for my grandfather's funeral. It was Jack Killian, and I had just had a bad day. And he goes, "Do you want to go to jail?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Then shut the fuck up." And I said, "Okay." And that's all he said to me, right? And I sat there. And I see my wife and my friend over on the curb, and this is like midnight or something, and they're like towing the cars. Cops keep coming up and go, "Hey, do you want us to talk to him or this, that, and the other, help you?" And he goes, "Nope, I got it. I got it. I got it." Every single time somebody came up to him, "I got it. Go. I got it. Go." They towed all the cars, all the people left, all the cops left, everybody left. And it was just me and the cop and my wife and my buddies over there like 3, 4 hours later, right? Sitting there. And he gets me out of the car, and he goes, "Your insurance ain't gonna like this." And he handed me a failure to control ticket.
No shit.
And he handed me a failure to control ticket. And he goes, "Have a good day." And he goes, "I'm sorry about your grandfather." And I left and I walked, and I never forget, the next day I got a call from 2 insurance companies, the other guys, and they go, "Did they breathalyze you or give you any kind of like test?" And I said, "No." And they go, "That's really weird." And I just remember them always, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. It is what it is."
Well, I
uh,
wasn't drinking, so there was no need.
yeah, exactly. Well, no, it even said, they said it had it on my record that I said I drank 6 beers.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I literally, the thing said, "Say you left a bar and you drank 6 beers." And I said, "Yep." And they said, "They didn't breathalyze your drug test too?" And I was like, "No." And they go, "That's weird." But I was honest with him too. I told him. He go when I first met him, I said, "Yeah, I left the bar. I had 6 beers." I even said, "It wasn't the beers. It was like I got this giant 3/4 ton GMC diesel. It literally just started raining, and I made the turn and gave it a little gas." And but yeah, good, fucking lucky times. And good to know somebody. You know what I mean? He was about ready to retire too, so it's probably like he didn't give a shit either. He's like, "Fuck it."
Right.
uh, but yeah, great guy. I met him before because back in the day, there was this one guy. Oh, like I said, my whole family fucking knew these cops, and this one guy came in this. It was an old Ford pickup with like the wood bed, and he had it all remodeled. I'm trying to think of the year of it, maybe in the 30s or 50s. Anyway, I don't even know. It doesn't matter. But it was a cool old pickup he redid, and he had the wood bed on it, and he had like a big giant engine in. And he goes, "Nick, you want to go for a ride?" And I said, "Sure." Hop in. We head down Agler Road in Ohio, make a couple turns down Stelzer. He's roar, and the truck's just roar, just loud as can be. And we're doing like 100 miles an hour down like a fucking 40 mile an hour, 40, 45. And then a cop got behind us. And then it became a fucking like out of a movie fucking race. He's gunning it, hitting the corners. The cop's got his lights on. We're like a mile and a half from my house, right? He's turning. He passed my house. The cop's behind me. He goes down, makes a fucking U-turn. The cop makes it was like out of a movie. Comes back, he turns into my driveway. The cop turns in my driveway. He goes, "Put your hands up." And the dude jumps out laughing. And it was my uncle's friend. He jumps out laughing, and I got out of the car, and he gives him a high five, and he goes, I don't think they like us doing that. And it was like his buddy or something like that. And I'm in the car, like, I think I was like 18, 19 at the time, thinking, "Oh my God, what the fuck's going on here?" Because I mean, it was like a high speed chase and shit. And he just like was joking with the guy because the guy knew his truck. It was obvious. Like his truck was like yellow and it said like "bad boy" or something on the wood panels or something. And I was like, and my uncle was just like, "Yep, that's him." And my uncle knew the guy, and they're all high fiving, like, this is a normal thing or something. It was like out of Super Troopers or something. They do that shit. I mean,
Right.
it's real shit. They obviously, like, since they're buddies and shit, they fuck around every now and at least back then. Now with the cameras, you obviously, like I said, can't do it. But man, there was some crazy shit that went on back then. That was one of my other stories. A beautiful truck. I'm trying to remember the year of it. Like I said, it was one of those old Fords, and had the had to have been in the 30s. I don't know. Had the wood bed on it. I remember because the wood bed. He had it all laminated, and it was like coated to the point of where, like, I don't think it could like it ain't gonna degrade or whatever. You know what I mean?
Like the half donut wheel wells.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Well, and the engine had the what was it, the flip ups, because he had a giant engine under it, and I think he sometimes even just took them off just so you could see the engine, you know what I mean? But yeah, that was that old one. Beautiful truck he redid. Because I was into trucks. It had to be an older one because I did a '78, and that was way newer than that. That was a beautiful truck I redid. The '78 I redid, I had the whole interior painted. I ripped out all the seats and I painted it all blue metal flake because it's all metal inside of it. And then I had some white leather seats. And then I painted it and I had the outside all blue, all white. So it was all white, white leather seats and blue, everything else, blue metal flake interior, which was kind of crazy. But that car, I redid the entire car. I spent a few thousand on it because my grandfather, my whole family was like mechanics. So I had a lot of equipment and painters. My uncle was an amazing painter. And so I had a lot of the equipment. So saved a lot. But my grandfather's like, "I can't find the title."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Are you shitting me?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then I'm like, I literally gave up on it, moved on to another project. It was sitting there for a minute. And then my grandfather ended up selling it to one of our friends or somebody for like $500. One day it was just gone. And I was just like, because there's so much shit. I literally could have at least stripped it of some stuff. You know what I mean? He just sold it for $500, right? And I kid you not, 3 months later, here's what happens. My grandfather's like, "I found the title." And I said, "Can I buy my truck back for $500 then?" And he goes, "Oh no, I'm giving him the title." He gave the dude the title.
Oh no.
This truck was leased at the time worth like probably like 4 or 5,000 bucks. That was insane. I don't know. My grandfather was a giver, so I know he was a good guy, so I didn't give a shit. He was the type of guy I'll never forget. We always went out to places, and he had many vehicles, but he always left like dollars and change in it, and then he also left the windows down with the doors unlocked. And he always goes, "If somebody needs my dollars and change and enough to open my vehicle," he goes, "they can have it." So that's
Yeah, you'd rather them just open it and then break the window,
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, you wanna go get it. But he also left it in there on purpose. He was just like, "If somebody really wants it that bad, go get it." Because I even told him, I said, "You don't have to leave it." And he goes, "Well, somebody might need it more than me, and if they're brave enough to fucking just open my door and go get it, they deserve it." Ugh. Alright. Cheers to my grandpa. He was a good guy. He was also the type of guy, he bought this watch off this guy, I never forget, and it was a really shitty watch, and he bought it for, like, $200. And I was like, "Grandpa," I was like, "you could buy that for, like, $30 at Walmart or something, or Kmart," what at the time. And he was like, "Yeah, I know," but he needed the money. And he knew it was cheap. It wasn't about that. He just didn't want to make the guy feel bad by giving him the money. You know what I mean?
use it as an excuse to do,
Yeah,
make enough.
exactly. Right.
You know.
But I learned a lot from that. You got to give people what they deserve sometimes.
Yeah. That's what I try to teach my son.
Everybody goes up and down in life too. You always have the good times, we have the bad times. I always try to tell everybody, always remember your bad times, they go away. You get through it. I've lost a lot of good people. I've had a lot of really horrible situations in my life. Sad part is some people give up, and they don't realize, there's going to be tomorrow. I'm heating it up, guys. I'm loving this now. Let's get on to a more exciting topic. But yeah, beautiful rig here. We got this $10,000 rig. I'm gonna be like these YouTubers. I'm like the opposite of like these crazy YouTubers. I'll be like, this is 3 to 5. Guys, like, actually, it's 9,000. I should change the title. $15,000 rig. No, just kidding. No, but really, honestly, it's about a 5,000 maybe. I'd say 5 with color at least. If it could get 9, that'd be crazy. My kid, when I die, he's just gonna have all this stupid glass, and he's gonna know nothing to do with it. My wife and my kid's gonna just be like, I don't know. We got a lot of glass here. What the fuck? This is gonna go for like $100 on eBay.
Yeah, right. I got tons of sports stuff, but I have a huge Trailer Park Boys memorabilia collection. So, same thing. They're gonna be like, "What the hell are we gonna do with all this Trailer Park Boys stuff?"
I got to go to my mom's house. I have a crazy like card collection. So, I have like cards from like the 80s and 90s, like, rookie cards of Shaq. Some of these cards are going up in value because, these are, I had Kobe Bryant cards. I've had Grant Hill, a #1 draft pick card. I had Nash. I had a whole bunch of good guys back then, and nobody knew about them. Now they're blown up, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, part of it is you used to have to get like a subscription or show up to one of the expos in order to get the cards graded. Well, now the two bigger companies have partnered with GameStop. So, if you can find a GameStop that's still open, you can just show up with your card, and then there's like a little process. You take a picture, blah blah blah, and
You're
then
shitting me. No shit.
you can send it off and have it graded. Yeah, and then you can pick to either have it mailed right back to your home or just come pick it up at GameStop.
Yes, you're right, Ian. Glass is what it used to be, but this one, Earl Jr. for some reason is holding his value. He's actually teaming up with so many guys, Salt and shit. Honestly, I don't even want to talk about it, but yeah, we had an issue with the Salt. Remember my Salt mug rig? It's technically just an Earl Jr. evidently, but I think they wanted to do it because they teamed up and had a collab, and they didn't want mine to be a part of it. Look at both very much turning vaporizer board. Here's
It's kind of the same thing with like Roar. Their prices really have kind of stayed the same, if not increased. They never really went down. I don't know how many bongs they're selling, but
it's funny you said that. I heard Roar's going out of business.
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because again, like their prices just seem to go up.
Well, they're shutting down, I think, their Europe. They have 2 different glass companies. I think they're shutting down their Europe one. So if there's a Roar USA, that's going to stay open, I guess.
Okay.
Because do you remember having different Roars? Some Roars would have a signature on them. So evidently the signature was a more valued Roar. Cheers.
Yeah, the very first green bong that I had was a Roar. It was like an actual glass on glass, and I had a signature on it, and I believe it was almost twice as expensive as one that
didn't. Yep. Signature was key
Oh.
because they had knockoffs and this, that, and the other. Even my bongs that I have, every single one of them has a signature of Earl Jr. on them because he has other guys that can do it. You know what I mean? The only ones that don't have a signature of Earl Jr. are the very rare ones because he can only do them pretty much. You know what I mean? So like this one doesn't have a signature. I think my Metatron and my cup rig doesn't have a signature, but my Geodome has a signature and my Synergy. Now, both of those he made more than one. So anytime I think he makes a lot of that, it depends. I don't know. I don't know. That's just a theory. Man, that was a good dab. Any plans?
Taking daughter tomorrow down to outside of Dayton to a Nirvana cover band, part of her Christmas present, and we got a really nice hotel, and I
Dude,
reserved a
that's
VIP table.
that's so sick. I love Nirvana. First time I came to Cali, I met my boy from Tall Dark and 90. You know, the guys who does all this shit. And I said, "Can you play some, Nirvana?" He's like, "Grr." He likes his own shit, but he was able to do it. He likes Nirvana, and that was, Nirvana. Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam's amazing too. So that's gonna be awesome, dude. That's sick. I Dayton. I like I said, I worked at 7 Up, and our main place we met, or for I was a sales rep, was in Dayton. So we had like North Dayton, East, West, and I worked what was it? West side of Dayton, over by man, the west side of Dayton's so hard. Like, there were some bad areas over there. I remember it was, God, what was the name of that one city? But yeah, the west side was the area they always started sales reps at, because it was just like a really hard area of town. I remember I was really trying to get done early, and I left one of the convenience stores and I took off running, and a security guard tackled me. A big black security guard tackled me, right? And I was like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Why are you running?" And I said, I said, "I want to, get done," because I was a sales rep. So here's how it worked. If I get all my orders in, I'm done for the day. I could head home, right? So I was just always, I used to get done by like noon, 1 o'clock. I'd be done by before lunch. My day was like 4 hours as a sales rep. I'd run in, type in the order. You need X amount of case. Every case is 2 12 packs. I'd fill it up, give them a couple extra for whatever was selling more, and run out of the store. And he tackled me. I was just like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "You can't run Trotwood." Trotwood. I was like, "Yeah, if you ever go to Trotwood, not gonna say it's a bad area, but I'm gonna say Trotwood would make Compton look like Beverly Hills." Trotwood was tough. Like, it was so tough. Here's some crazy 7 Ups. I loved working it because I was like, I grew up in the ghetto. So, what I mean? I was so used to this shit. So I was like, whatever. I was like, I never carried money on me. It was like, whatever, what are you gonna do? It is what it is. So every time I rolled out there, I rode out there broke, because I just planned on eating when I got home, and I'm not one of the person that comes out with anything. So I'm out in Trotwood rolling around. And so that happened. The guy tackled me. I said, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, "All right, can't run around here." We ended up leaving the convenience store, left that one. Here, another day I was out in Trotwood, and I head out early. And here's the problem with Trotwood: most of the places, they're drive-throughs in Ohio, and most people don't know what a drive-through is, right? In Ohio, I had 112 stores, 117. 60 or so, 70 was drive-throughs. Drive-throughs is like a thing that looks like a fucking garage, right? With the door on both sides, and you drive into it, and there's snacks and beer, and they give it to you, and you drive through it, right? And so that's a drive-through. Most states don't have this. You know what I mean, Dank?
Mhm.
They don't have it. I don't know if you know this. Most states, I
It's
think
like it's like
90.
it's like a big car wash, but
It's
it's a convenience.
That's the best way to put it. It's a car wash. It's convenient, and they do it. And like, for some reason, 99% of the states don't have it. I literally traveled all over the world, stay in a drive-through, and they think of like McDonald's, but you're right. It's more like a car wash. You're literally driving into the building. On some days in Ohio, it was so fucking cold, they would keep both doors closed. And
Yeah,
you
you'd have to
pull
beat the
th
horn
they
to
you
get in.
pull up, it like goes ding ding. They open the door, you drive into this warm building, they close the door behind you. Now you're inside of a fucking building with your car running. I don't even know. Sometimes I think they said shut off your car, but then you ended up buying beer and shit. In Ohio, here's the cool thing: back in the day, you bought a case of beer. You know what they also gave me? In a can. So you go in the drive-through, you bought a 24 pack, they gave me an extra can for the road. That way I didn't have to
Mhm.
open up the fucking case. So you're drinking and driving. They knew what's happening. This is like, literally, drinking and driving was legal up until the 80s. So I mean, just saying. But
Right.
it ain't, it's like the seatbelt law. I was used to not wearing a seatbelt. Out of the blue, they go, put on a seatbelt. I was like, what the fuck? Like I went through, like I'm old enough to go through these crazy weird changes. I never forget when Freon became illegal and they started adding that whatever they call it, E89, E85, whatever the fuck the new shit is. My grandfather went out as a fucking maniac and bought up like all these tanks of Freon, right? And we were sitting on all these tanks of Freon and my car, ooh, baby, I always kept that car cold as ice. You turn on my thing. If you walked in my car in the summertime, it'd be like 80, 100 degrees outside. My car would be negative 60. It was so fucking cold. You would see your breath in my car. That Freon shit was so fucking good. My grandfather had so many tanks of it. That was some good shit. Yeah. So Freon ended up becoming illegal. You ended up having to wear your seatbelts, like some crazy shit in the 80s. In the 80s, you also had to stop drinking and driving, which is crazy.
Well, then they also like raised the drinking age. What was it, like into the 70s or something? Because my uncle,
Yep.
he got grandfathered in, so he
Well,
could like
yeah, my
drink it.
mom was saying there was different, like if you're 18, you could get like a 3% beer or something like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Well, you're like a 3/5 or something, and then they changed the law because you could drink at 19. So then my uncle was 19, but then he was buying beer at 20 for like my dad, who was 19, because he had to wait till he was 21.
Right. Well, when I was like 10 to 12 in Florida, my mom bought us Sharps beer and it was like 0.9%. It wasn't double zeros. Like nowadays, you can get an actual like zero beer. Back in the day, it was like a point 0.9, 1.2 or something like that. They had
Yeah.
and they would give it to us. And me and my buddies had a 6 pack of Sharps, and we're like, well, if we drink enough of them, we always had this theory. It was like 10 years old, drinking Sharps beer, walking around the apartment complex. We were playing like hide and seek. Back in the day, we played hide and seek with all the kids in the apartment complex. It was amazing.
Same thing. I grew up in an apartment as well, and we would have huge games of tag and hide and seek. There'd be 50, 60 kids running around.
Yeah, I know. That was, my kid won't even get, I'm in a giant apartment, giant, bigger than any of mine. None of the kids do that shit. And the parents get crazy. Even when my kid meets kids, the other parents come over and they're like these like helicopter parents. Back in the day, like us, we'd just all meet up, this giant group of kids in the apartments, just like mobbing through. I remember we had like a train track at one of ours. We're all at the train track dropping quarters on the train track, just flattening quarters and shit.
Well, your parents would be like, "Get out, go play, come back for
Yeah,
lunch." You know?
100%. When it gets dark, you better be back here.
Yeah.
The good days. And I always like the memes where they showed the kids jumping ramps. That was us. I mean, we were doing that shit. We were building these shitty fucking. My one buddy broke his leg and his whole fucking bone was sticking out at one point. I never remember. I never forget it. He took my bike without me asking. I'm sleeping. I slept till like fucking noon back then. Him and his brother came over with his mom, and they were friends with my mom, and had a brand new bike. And he hit this one ramp that nobody ever hits but me, and it was like a dirt ramp, and the dirt ramp went up, but it was also like I think it was like maybe 2, 3 feet, but right beside it was a parking curb, one of those cement blocks. And so if you don't hit it fast enough, you're coming. And so he went up, fell back, and put his shin right into the fucking curb. And it was a brand new curb. So it was like sharp, sharp. It wasn't like an old curb. They just put it in, right? And I told everybody, I said, quit hitting this. Because when I hit it full speed just to get over it, right? And everybody chickens out. And I said, if you chicken out, you're coming back. And he did it. And so I'm sleeping. I hear, oh my God. And it's my dad. And he's like freaking out. He goes, I just remember here, call 911, call 911, call 911. Because we don't have cell phones back then, right? And so, they come busting in the house, and I wake up and I walk out and I look. His shin is split open about this big. His muscle is hanging out, and his name's Chip. And he goes, I don't give a shit. I don't say his last name. and he looks down and he goes, passes out. I never forget. And and you want to hear what happened? This, the worst part is I was pissed he was using my fucking bike. It was a brand new bike I just got. It was the kind that had like a shield and it had a shifter handle. So you could go first gear, second gear, and it was like a BMX, but with like a shifter. I don't know why. And I was so mad. And then like they ended up going to the hospital, and I was so pissed about, about him using my bike. I just stayed behind. But evidently, everybody said in the car, every time he looked at his shin, he passed out. I was like, that's hilarious. And he was he was like 2 years older than me, and he was like a tough guy. That was kind of a funny day.
So that was the end of that.
No, fuck him. We got in a fight one day, and he slammed my face into concrete. I remember I was like, "Bam!" When you hit concrete with your face out of the blue, fucking stars appear. It's like out of a cartoon.
Right, you remember that.
Call 9. I hope it's not a rotary phone. No, it's that phone with that 12-foot cord. You know, you put it in your kitchen and you can just take it wherever in your fucking house. Not a 12-foot cord, maybe a 20-foot. It's a 12-foot coiled. There is a somebody is setting off a fire alarm. But it is not me.
I took the batteries out of most of mine because they kept going off.
Well, I know. Well, here's the issue: is it ain't our alarm. I have a 25-foot ceiling with the door open. I never have issues here. But if you hear me talk, it always comes on. But other people do. So if you're in another apartment, you might have small ceilings. My ceilings are huge.
Right, yeah, I know what you're saying.
You manifesting his chin and I still like to call him. Yeah, so my dad's running, call 911. Literally for like 20 years, or not 20, for 10 years, we always made fun of my dad because my dad was call 911, call 911, call 911. And I'm sitting here chilling here. I'm sleeping. I wake up to that. I was like, what's going on? He's like, Dusty, or no, not Dusty. Dusty was his brother. Their name was Chip and Dusty. This is my two boys, right? Good friends of mine. And then Chip busted his knee open or shin open. I came out, I looked at it. I was like, yeah, it's pretty bad. And he was he was one of those, I think, what time, how old was I? 12. He was like 14. He was like a freshman in high school and he was playing on like the varsity baseball team. So he was like a badass, you know what I mean? And like, but he ended up having a fucking cast on his leg and he missed like most of the first season, which sucked. You know, I was a baseball player. We were all baseball players back then, especially in Florida. Florida had a lot of baseball going on. I remember playing T-ball all the way up to like high school. The battery with the low chip. I'm gonna actually plug my phone in. No, this isn't mine. If you guys heard mine going off, you would hear it because it's like an entire apartment alarm. So it'd be like, and it's right there. It'd be like, meh, 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 meh. You'd hear mine. This is somewhere else. Wouldn't it be hilarious if somebody's watching my YouTube and they're smoking in their building? No, a lot of people do smoke in their building. Like I said, I literally have 25-foot ceilings, so it's very hard for me to fucking smoke it out. But it's crazy. Check this out. Look at this, dude. So that is a regular door. I don't know, maybe it's 8 feet or something. This one, that's like a 9 foot, 10-foot door. This is my sliding yard. We got these we used to have it has a divider here in the middle. They switched these doors out. The previous one, when I opened both of the French doors, there was no divider. It was beautiful. I had this giant opening, right? But these are, I guess, more airtight. So when COVID hit, you can do a double lock on these. You can flip the switch up and it like sucks onto the door. But I think they did all that during COVID. During COVID, my apartment, since I'm a luxury apartment, they went crazy. So like the elevators, they changed all the buttons on our elevators. They're all halo buttons. So you don't touch anything. You just like put your finger kind of close to it or whatever. Yeah. like I said, it was so much nicer when I can open both of them and they had the, I can totally hear the alarm. But these are airtight. So this, where is it? Right here. If I go up, wait, no. If I go up, it locks it. If I go down, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what I just did to it. Jesus Christ. Anyway, like there's a lock and a seal button. They did it because they said like they were worried about COVID. And so they put these stupid weird seal doors on it, like have us, and you can lock it, then seal it. I'm hearing it. It's driving me insane. Can you hear it?
Yeah, barely.
All right, good. I can barely hear it too. That's why I got my monitors. These monitors are nice. So these basically let me hear almost exactly what you guys are hearing. All right, let's fucking do this. I fucking dropped a whole bunch of diamonds all over the place. I'm going to open up something new. I'm going to try it again, guys. Let's try it again here. We're going to try the strawberry jam. Crack it. Always when I smell that matchbook. What is that matchbook? I'm gonna have to like get a notepad of what I talk about. I think the matchbook is a pesticide. Because the mothball is definitely sulfur burners. So a lot of the people in the colder climate, when you use a lot of like heaters and shit to heat it up, you create a lot of humidity. So they use the sulfur burners to get rid of a lot of humidity. It ends up fucking up all your weed. And this one is this. This could be the same. I don't know.
What's
I
the,
wish I would. What'd you say?
You taste that burnt tire.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be almost the same. Or what do you think that is?
I don't know, because like I've had it in different vape pens and then let certain friends of mine hit it and then they're like, oh, this tastes good. But at the same time, people are silly about, their palate and what they smoke anyway. So it's hard for me to
Well,
take
yeah.
it.
I mean, anybody who says it tastes good, do you smoke 24/7? I mean,
Right.
I mean, if I guarantee if I don't smoke weed for 30 days or something, you give me some, I'll probably say it tastes good. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess good burnt tire could be it. So here's the thing. If we're going to just get rid of, let's just say, let's be kind to everybody and say they don't all use pesticides. Because what it is any of this terp is not a natural terp is the issue. So it's something like, it isn't something you grow in. Nobody's fucking weed should smell like this. Anyway, let's try dab. I say that. I'm going to just try a tiny dab and I'm going to add some diamond. But yeah, so it's either a sulfur burner or pesticides. Because like I'm trying to explain this to people because what happens is at a point, these terps, no matter what weed you grow, it's never gonna smell like this. And that's because this isn't a natural terp. And you grow, right?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
I've got a small tent right here.
Oh shit. Is that in like nighttime?
No,
Nice. I gotta heat up this again. Oh shit. Thank you for showing us. Look at that shit. Beautiful flowers. So what do we got here? What's what?
That's a dumpster, and then that is a luteum down there in the corner.
That looks like a sativa. That thing is shooting up.
It's a Bubba Kush crossed with Hawaiian.
Yeah, I guess if you look at the leaves, those leaves are pretty fat. Yeah, for sure. I like the darkness of it. Those ones could go purple for sure.
And then that's the dumpster there.
That looks fire. Look at all the heads. You're gonna get a big yield on that one. Do you super
Yep.
crop or like a lollipop or
Yeah,
put
I'll
it
go in here usually like after 10 days of being in this. I haven't switched to flour yet.
right, right.
It's I'll probably switch it here in about a week. I just transplanted all those. But once I switch it to flour, usually like day 9 or 10, I'll go over there and I'll lollipop everything.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Throw a net on there, dude. Since you got that thing, I put a net on there. Try to spread out the buds, and then but right before you, I do that like maybe like a week before you bud it, and then get those to come up. Do a quick lollipop, and you could get a nice like sea of green on top.
Hmm. And then I have another bigger. This is the smallest tent that I have, and then I have a 4x4 that's a little bit taller that has mothers in it, and then I have two 4x8s that I'm about to fill with. I can fit 15 5-gallon buckets in each one.
Nice. So, are you using liquid nutrients or powder?
Yeah, I use General Organics, which is like the General Hydroponics organic line. So CalMag, the Grow, BioBud, BioRoot, and then I try to make like as much of the super soil as I can to start off with. So I usually don't have to even really give it too much besides CalMag for like the first 3 4 weeks.
No, well. They look nice and dark. They look like you're doing right. So that's fire. And so, now do they flower all about the same, or what do you think your time on those are going to be? It's 8 weeks.
Yeah, that I usually go like at least 63 days, and then kind of just gauge from there whether it needs a 10th or a 11th week. But
Will, will
with
you
that
will
done,
you will you will you cut a couple down and leave the others go if they need, or do you
yeah,
harvest all at the same time? Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I had some big. I had guys doing big grows with like hundreds and hundreds of lights, and they did the same shit in the big grows. And I was like, "Damn, you guys are fucking nuts." I mean, like, like, I was at the lab, I always worked the lab and shit, but then during the fucking harvest time, I'd see these guys come in and be like, they're picking and choosing. I was like, "Guys, that's insane." Like, some of these some of these grows I see here in LA were insane, dude. Like, literally, you're like in, like, the sewer system, just walking around with these hundreds you're walking down a hallway, and it's like every single door is 100 lights.
Hmm.
And then you see these giant containers that are like 20 feet tall, 10 feet wide circle, and they're nutrients. And you got a flush, and you got a fucking nutrient one, you got a flowering one, and they got these lines going everywhere. My buddy was hooking up fucking power, like illegal power, just had an electrician getting paid like half a
Hmm.
million a year. He was making money as he should because he was hooking up fucking live wire. It was insanity. Like if you know electricity, scary shit. That ain't how you do it. And the dude would they would cut the power and be like, "Are they gone?" "Yep." "All right, get up there, hook it back up." And I mean,
Hmm.
these guys did that shit. And I was like, man, I remember my grandfather worked with electricity. He told me some stories. I was like, that's some crazy shit. Cause they ain't shutting the power off for you, taking their illegal electricity.
So yeah, you're jumping right past the meter, definitely.
Especially when you're running like these guys, like he had at least 2,000 lights probably. And it was like they were it was so cool how he set it up in LA. So you're walking in a warehouse, and instead of going outside to get to the next one, he bought every fucking warehouse down the block, and he created these like tunnels. So you literally didn't ever leave. You were like literally you're walking out of the blue, there's a door, you open it, there's like dirt for like 3 feet, but there's walls. And then, you open the door, you're in another fucking warehouse walking, that's how it was in LA. And then, we're in the fucking like Skid Row area. So, outside is some air, it's a tough area too. And my lab, I never forget my lab. When you pulled in my lab, I had a gate button, I had a fence, I had some barbed wire, I had security guards because my lab made a lot of money, right? That was where the big money was made. So, I mean, in like his door just to get into his one grow area had like 8 locks. It was like you had to take off like 8 locks. It was like opening a steel vault just to get in there, you know what I mean? And he had like, artillery every now and then. But then my lab was even crazier, like, because they knew how I worked it. And I had like a lot of butane outside, this, that, and the other. And so I had like a fence with like barbed wire and security. And like he knew when I came and went. He'd be like, why are you like an hour late today? And I'm like, dude, fucking traffic sucked. You know what I mean? Because I was working like 5, 12, 13-hour days because I was running a BHO system. We were doing a filtration of the weed. We would fucking do a short path, and we were making a lot of the pens back in the day. So like 12 years ago, when the pens were at the hype, when maybe 10 years ago, when they were at the hype, I was making all those crazy illegal pens that were just, we had fucking packaging for anybody. You name a packaging, I'll repackage it. And not only will I repackage it, what happened was is my shit was better than most people's shit. So, most of these tanks were coming out like orange or whatever back in the day, mine was coming out yellow and like clear, because I was running through so much filtration and shit. And so some people even was like saying the real shit was fake since my shit was better, which was hilarious. And so I remember at a point I was selling $40,000 a week, like just to a random dude to move it out east. And I got like, 10, 20,000, that was just on the side. My boy was so good with this company. He goes, you want to, not only was I making good running the lab, I got whatever I wanted at like cost. So I was just like, and then, I was hilarious. You'd sit there and watch the news and they'd be like, New York got busted with all these vape pens. And you see the fucker. And I'm looking, I'm like, those look really familiar. I always looked at the color. I always looked at the color of what the tank was. Like if they were real dark, wasn't mine. But man, if they were real light, I was like, oh, those could have been mine. Not many people was running at that fire at the time, That was hilarious. But I mean, this was even after I got rated at my lab. So, I always worked these crazy jobs where I had all this crazy stress of not only doing this, that, and the other, but I was risking like jail. I couldn't imagine going to the judge and judge like, well, last time you were facing 14 years for manufacturing, you got off that. And like, how are you back in? And like, ironically, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time yet again. Because last time what happened was I went to the lab because they said it was a water leak. And I said I was a maintenance man. And so I went to the lab with like basketball. I've been in the drug game for so long, I never carry a lot because it's always like I always worry about like anything happening. So I just am like in basketball shorts and a t-shirt, and I have my 2 cell phones other than that. And there was like a water leak. And I said there was a water leak. I was trying to fix it. And the guy goes, that's when they didn't believe me, really. They was like, well, there's a manufacturing thing, blah, blah, blah. You got to talk to this. And then I thank God I got away from it. But I mean, it's like I couldn't imagine hitting up again and be like, well, you're in another lab. And be like, well, I'm a maintenance man at the labs.
You're right. They have the same maintenance program. Like, come on.
Fucking AC. Have you ever heard of a fucking side split or mini split? I know all about the ACs because we were running mini splits, right? And they had a leakage. So anytime you run an air conditioner, it always has like a drain for the water. Okay. And the mini splits were nonetheless. And we had this long pipe and I thought it was like stuck or something. Went in there, no issue. I was like, oh no. Sat there. I had a whole bunch of beers, IPAs, like fucking 12% IPAs. Fucking getting drunk, called my buddy. I was like, dude, I ain't calling my wife. I'll just fucking walk out of here. Like, I was like, I'm going to walk out of here. And he goes, I don't even work for you. I don't know you. You're my buddy. I'll come. They can't arrest me. Dude rolls up. We hang out. And I was like, dude, they're going to arrest me. There's nobody out there. It was like the middle of like a holiday. It was like crickets, right? And I was like, dude, and I had a skateboard, a whole skate set up inside, and we're all skateboarding, getting drunk. And he goes, I got to go. And I said, all right. And then we walk out of there. We hop in his shitty like Chevy S10. His back windows all have these stickers on them. And I can't look out. And we make 2 turns and I see blue and red, blue and red. And I turn and I look at stickers because he has stickers all over his fucking back window. And he's like, it's probably because my truck doesn't have the proper registration or stickers on it. I said, after what I just told you, you decide to pick me up in this? I was like, are you on their side? I literally was pissed. Let's do a dab here. Load your bowls, punch on your vaporizers, pour your beers, pour your shots. Let's hold it.
Don't never want to say, came by, come by, come by, hey God.
So yeah, so I see the blue and reds, right? I have 2 cell phones in my hand. I'm in this little shitty S10, right? And so I dropped the phones on the floor because I was like freaked out that this just happened, even though I knew it was going to happen, right? Dropped the phone, bent over. As I bent over, I'm staring at the ground between my knees, and I hear, "Step out of the vehicle. Put your hands on the head, up." Now remember, he said we're getting pulled over for his tags. So I stay down between my legs, and I hear, "Step out of the vehicle. Put your hands up." And my buddy goes, "Nick, I think you better do what they say." And I'm between my legs looking at him like, what the? Stand up with my 2 phones. I look out. Again, I can't see, but I just see flashing reds. But I look out and I see 5 tan minivans around me. Like from like the late 80s, early 90s or something. Like, you know, these little old tan mini. I don't even know what the fuck company it was. It was just either like tan. It was just what I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, these are some old vehicles, right? And then there's these, they have these vests on that say FBI. They got shorts on, you know, because it's the middle of summertime, t-shirts on, FBI vests. These guys have big guns, like not fucking regular guns, big guns pointed at me, right? And I sit back and I look at him. I said, "They're not pulling us over for your tags, right?" I put my hands up and they go, "Now step out of the vehicle and keep your hands up." And I never forget because I'm just like a weird person like that. I follow every direction very thoroughly. And I said, "How can I open the door and keep my hands up?" I was like, "Do you want me to climb through the window?" And the guy goes, "Slowly open the door from the outside." And so I pop it, I walk out, they arrest me. And that was when they hit my whole lab. I basically sat there for like 7 hours because they had a fire team come in, they had a bomb squad come in because they had like hundreds of pounds of butane in there. And I don't think they know how to deal with that for some reason. And it wasn't in a butane container. It was in a BHO system. So I already moved it from the butane to the BHO system. So now it's in like if and what happened was right before it all happened. If you walk into my warehouse, I had this giant, as soon as you walk in, I had a skate room and juggling clubs and a table to dab at, and I had a refrigerator. And so you chill and smoke, and dab, skateboard, you know, and I had stairs, and I was gonna build a zip line from the top of the thing down. It was gonna be awesome. I was gonna do like a fantasy factory. Anyway, but then there was one door on the far left with a lock, double lock. Now, if you open that door, now you're in the weed area, right? And close it. There was where it's where you pack the tubes. That's where all the weed came in. We packed the tubes. Then there was another door after you get in there, another double locked door. Open that door. Now you're into, now both of them had a mini split. They were separated. Now you're into the lab. Once you get into the lab, that's where we had our BHO system. We had 2 giant ovens, a giant BHO system from Extractor Depot, whole 9 yards. Everything was set up beautifully in there, right? And so once everything, when I first came in there, I freaked out. And once I walked in all the rooms and there was no leakage, right? I was like, oh no. So I went into the BHO room. Once I got in the BHO room, I got a giant tarp. Like I covered everything, right? I covered everything. Then I covered the ovens. Then I closed the door. I double locked it, right? Went to the next room, which was the loading room. There was no weed in there except for 1 pound of weed because it was like a special pound. Like most of our shit came in like, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, bigger bulk. Anyway, this was a special pound. We were going to just run separately. I was like, shit. And so I went, there was a corner because like I said, remember those stairs? There was a little closet. I opened up the closet and I threw it under the stairs, all the way at the back under the stairs, closed that closet, didn't have a lock. Walked out of that room. The room was completely empty. And so I think there was some tubes in there because we had extra tubes. So I might have covered the tubes, closed that room, turned off everything except for the ACs because I had 2 mini splits. Shut the door, double locked it, opened that. That's when I just chilled until my buddy came. And so when they hit me up, they said, "What happened?" And I said, "Well, I came there and I said, all the doors are locked And I said, there was no leakage. And so I said, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's behind there. And that's when they go, well, we're going to bust in if you don't give us the keys. And I said, well, I don't have the keys. So, you got to do what you got to do. And then they end up taking my keys nonetheless. Right. And they opened it up and they said, we found what you had. And like I said, that's where the whole thing took forever. And then, like I said, ended up going to jail, got bailed out. It took like 15,000 to get me bailed out. I think my bail was 150,000. Is pretty high. And so, 10%, got out of jail about 3 a.m. Black lady goes, you must be one. Somebody must really like you. I never forget. I was like waking up, like some of these times, it's like you're waking up out of a fucking movie. She had this Southern accent. I'm in fucking California, in Torrance, California. Why are you coming at me with the Southern accent? Right. And she's like, somebody must really like you. And I got up and it was 3 a.m. And so I get up, I walk out the door and they go, you got bailed out. And so they kicked me out of the fucking jail. I walk out of the jail at 3 a.m. in the middle of nowhere in Torrance. And I turn to the left and I turn to the right and nobody's there. It's crickets. Like literally, I'm sitting like, well, I'm glad I'm here, but I have nowhere to go. And I turn, there's no phones. I have no I said, where's my cell phone? Oh, no, wait. So I double back. There's a red phone. I pick it up. I said, I can't call anybody. You took my cell phones. Can I have my cell phones back? And they said, no, no, no. You were involved in a drug deal. You don't get your cell phones back. And I was like, eh. And they go, you could talk to the whatever about it. And I said, nah. And so they go, here's a payphone over here. So I call my wife. She was on the way to pick me up, thank God. And then like 2 months later was my court date. I'm freaking out the whole time. I called the Pop brothers at law. I'm like, oh, these guys are cool. I know they're a dude from West Coast Cure. We're all cool. Called them up. They're complete dicks to me. Complete dicks. They're like, we want $10,000. We're going to take 10,000 more. You were stupid. Why'd you call they were blaming me for calling my friend, even though I told him 100% of what happened. I was like, literally, dude, don't come and pick me up. And he's like, I don't care. And they blame me for that shit. And I was like, dude, I did not fucking fuck up on that one. I was like, I was just seeing because I didn't know what was going to happen, but I ain't going to involve my family. You know what I mean? But anyway, so they got all pissed at me and I was like, fuck you. So I called another lawyer and he ended up saying, I'll take your 10,000, but I'm not going to take it until you guarantee a court date. So he goes, go to the 2 months. If they give you a court date, say you got a lawyer and it'll give me, or take your money, blah, blah, blah. So 2 months comes by. I went to the court. My name wasn't on the board. And so I walked up to the window. I said, I'm supposed to have a court date today. And they said your name. They hand me a ticket saying I was dismissed. And so I hopped in the car and I drove and I have no cell phones and I called. And so, me, my dumbass, I'm like, let's see how hard we can push this shit. And so I called back and they, I need my cell phones. They go, hold on. And it was like, I'm detective, blah, blah, blah. And I go, yeah, I'm Nick. I need my cell phones back. And he goes, oh, yeah, if you want them, you got to come talk to me. And I go, well, you can keep them. They were iPhones. And, iPhones, they don't I had them not, you can't, it's hard to get into an iPhone. You got to have a lot of issues. I had mine lock. And I was like, nah, keep them both. And that was the end of that story. I ended up having I reported my phone stolen, got a brand new cell phone. I was like, fuck them. I was like, they were stolen.
Right?
Good stories though. But yeah, that was a fuck, dude. Can you imagine? I was in the jail by myself, and I got this paper that slides under the door, and I pick it up, look at it again. Manufacturing a controlled substance, federal crime, 11 to 14 years. I was like, whew, whew. Well, here's the cool thing. So you know why I got a private cell? So I used to have nipple rings. And so I had my tongue pierced. I used to have like crazy piercings, right? And one was my nipples, right? And I could take my tongue out, but I never took out my damn nipple rings, right? And so when they arrested me, I was all shaky because I haven't ate and now I'm getting arrested and I can't get my damn nipple rings off. And the lady's like, if you can't get them off, hold on. And this chick comes back with these giant fucking like prune clip, to clip like a fucking lock clipper. Yeah, lock cutters. These big ones, and I was like, she thought she was gonna scare me, but she didn't understand. At this point, I wasn't happy, so I was like, "All right, gotta do what you gotta do." And she backed away, and they put me in my own cell, which is awesome, and I had my own cell phone, and I just started making fucking phone calls. I was like, "All right," well, I was all by myself because of my nipple rings, so another good reason to get nipple rings, guys. Oh, shit. Yeah, what a story. Yeah, that sucked. I was literally stressing for 2 months, dude. That was a tough 2 months. I was hearing people say, "Well, at least you're going to federal prison." It's like, yeah, but 11 to 14 years.
Yeah,
I don't
so
care.
good.
I'm gonna. My kid was really young at the time. I was like, oh
Yeah,
no.
I think I don't know if I remember correctly. I believe you only have to do like halftime in federal, but even so,
Thank God. But
5
yeah, even so, yeah, nuns. I'm just glad
long.
they dropped it. And everybody
Yeah,
said they dropped it because I had no weed in the place. I literally just had a giant BHO system, ovens, and 1 pound of weed that was hidden under the. The thing is they hit us right when everybody went on vacation. Sheeta went on vacation. The other two people that were helpers went on vacation. And so I was just the only one there at the time. I was like, bad luck. All right, guys. Who wants a game? You ready to game? You gonna get on?
yeah, I'm down.
All right, let's do a dab. You get on. I might do one more dab though while you get on. But yeah, that's a good story, guys. Let me get some water. I'm gonna grab some water real quick.
Go and do a hard reset on the Xbox. I think Nick's grabbing some water for Nick's dad Marine. I'm gonna puff the last of this black sherbet. Get Team Faded going.
What up?
What up?
I'm gonna keep telling everybody my vacations, and we're gonna get a huge party going, guys. So I'm doing April 14th. I'm doing the Panorama to Cabo for 2 days, and one in Ensenada for 6. So it's a 6-night cruise. But the summer one, I don't think anybody's gonna wanna do it, but I'm excited. So summer, I wanna go to Tokyo. So I might
Oh,
go
that'd
to
be cool.
Tokyo for over a week. That's one of my spots. It's pretty expensive. I'm looking like 8 days is gonna cost about 10, 12,000 bucks roughly. But I mean, I'd rather spend my money on like vacations and memories than just like I eventually sit on it and blow it on stupid shit. So I think that's more cool, especially for my kid. I always bring him on everything. So we went to Hawaii. We stayed at the Prince Hotel. I think that was about 10, 12,000 bucks. And what's cool is I found the exact same hotel in Tokyo. So they get the Prince Hotel. It's a beautiful hotel, beautiful company that does it right. So I might hit that up too. So that could be the thing. But the cool thing in Tokyo is I also might hit I think they got Universal Studios, and then you could go to Disney Tokyo, and then you could go to Osaka, and then Osaka has Universal Studios. So we might hit a couple places. Because if you do the bullet train, so that'd be another cool thing to do. It's always like a once in a lifetime thing. I'm like, when we're all dead and gone, what are we gonna say? How much money did we save, or where did we go? I mean, I always enjoy all the places I visited. and stuff like that, especially for kids. My grandparents got me on it when I was a kid, taking me on my very first cruise in the 80s. That was like right when the cruises started. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, same thing. My dad used to always take my sisters and I and my mom, all sorts of different vacations all over the place. So now we started taking the kids the past couple of years to some of the more family-friendly music festivals.
I feel good. God, there was one up in Sydney. What was that called? There was a crazy country festival that went up just north of Sydney, up in Troy. Man, they had a big one up there. I remember it was insane. I was like, damn, it was like fucking Woodstock or something. They would take over the whole damn thing. Let me do a restart just to see if I can find it. All right, load your bowl, Troy Jones, turn on your vaporizers. I am dabbing out of a $10,000. Wait. $10,000. That sound sucks. At least a 5,000. Darth Blaze on Kick. Everything's going good. We're live here on Kick, YouTube, and Twitch. Thank you, Darth Blaze. Thank you, Dank Gunrunner, for hanging out. What up, Brian? How you doing? Like I said, I'm going to start saying every vacation I do until you guys start going on them with me. I'm going to have to read. Check it out. Check it out, Brian. One dude said they found a rig similar to this. Blue, $9,500. I'm not saying this is worth it. This is probably like 3 to 5, but you never know. Hell yeah, Brian. And you know what we also learned, Brian? If you ever have any of my links, you can always just click it, so I don't have to send it again. So if you guys ever want to join, easy peasy. But yeah, this could be up to like a $9,000 rig. I'd say at least a 5. We'll say 5 for sure. But I'm busting it out. I haven't had it out in a while. I got a new 10 millimeter nail for it. Check out this function. This is called a Klein glass. It's one of the hardest shapes to make if you're blowing glass. If you see, it comes out here, up and around, and back inside. And the recycles on the opposite side. What a crazy function. Again, this is Earl Jr.'s Klein Bottle rig. I'm looking forward to my first cruise ever in Jamaica in about a year. Hell yeah. Cruises are awesome. Me and Brian just was on one. We loved it. We take them all the time. I mean, for the price, my cruises are usually about $300 to $500 per person. That includes like 3 to 6 nights or something like that. And then you're getting all your food and drinks, your milk or your water, milk, soda, not your soda, water, milk, and juice. And then if you want, you can get a soda package. It isn't too bad. And then if you want to go crazy, you get your drink package. And then you get everything at that point. The drink package is nice because you also get the milkshakes, you get the energy drinks, you get the Gatorades. You don't have to just do the regular drinks. That's why everybody's like, I don't want the drink package because I don't drink. Well, you get a lot of other shit. You get all the specialty coffees. If you want to drink fucking those $15 frappuccinos, you got it. The $15 milkshake. Some of that shit gets expensive, so it always works all the time. All right, let's do a dab here, guys, out of this. I haven't, like I said, I had this rig since Christmas of 2023, well over a year. I only dabbed it a few times because I don't have this nail. Shido always brings out the nails. But now I got the nail. We'll keep on hitting on it. I'm dabbing. What am I doing? Hold on, let me show you what I'm dabbing here real quick. This shit isn't the best. Dabbing the strawberry jam, guys. I also got a whole bunch of these diamonds, so we're gonna mix it up.
I'm smoking the last 20 to 40% sherbet.
Oh, I gotta put some butane in for that one. Yeah, I was talking about. I'm glad you. I was thinking. I was like, oh, Dang told me that. Yeah, can you imagine, guys, having a 10% difference when you're already at like 30%? That's like it's an insanity. It's like 33% difference, possibly. That's just such insanity, but still funny. When I get the drink package and any other package. Yeah, I mean, well, when you go on a vacation, get it all. I mean, the thing is I went on cruises without the drink package, and if you drink like 4 drinks a day or something, you're fine. But then I find myself counting my fucking drinks. And 4 alcoholic drinks. Now, mind you, I might get up. I get a couple double espressos. I get a frappuccino. I get a milkshake. That's another 4 extra drinks. We're at 8 drinks alone, guys. So again, it doesn't have to be alcoholic drinks. And I just don't like stressing when I'm on cruises. I like just buying them. So you get 15 alcoholic drinks, but you get unlimited everything else. You want 50 fucking milkshakes or frappuccinos or whatever, anything unalcoholic, you can get it. Also, all the milkshakes, they can actually add alcohol to them, which is cool. So many cool things to do. And I just, if you're on vacation, be a vacation. I've been saying this my whole life. I was the kid who went to Las Vegas when I was like 16, 17 years old, blowing thousands of dollars because I learned at a young age. I was like, I make good money and it's going to go somewhere. And whenever I save it, it ends up going to stupid places. But I'd rather enjoy it on a nice vacation and then make some more because you're going to always make more money, guys. Money comes, money goes. None of us are millionaires. Almost dropped a $10,000 rig. That would have been crazy. I'd be like, Earl, please help me. No, this rig, honestly, it wouldn't break probably from this distance. It would have burnt the shit out of my leg, though. That's for sure. Get the drink package, do it all, have fun, guys. Problem with the drink package, also, remember, I use it safely. Like last time I was on the cruise, I was solo, and I learned I did a couple Red Bull or a couple Bloody Marys maybe to get me going, and then you switch over to just coffee and non-alcoholic drinks. That 15 drink package can go quick if you're doing it right. They got, one of my favorite drinks my buddy Brian got me on was the Tokyo tea, which was similar to like a Long Island iced tea, but I guess instead of like what the sweet and sour, they use Midori. So you're getting like all the liquors plus like a Midori. Amazing drink. Load your bowls, roll your drink, turn your papers, board beers, pour shots. Let's do a dab out of this amazing Earl Jr. Klein.
Outside. Maybe you can open the door for me. Baby, can you open the door for me? Maybe you can open the door for me, for me, for me.
Man, that one rocked me. I'm excited to have this. Like I said, I got the 18 to 14. So I'll be bringing out the Metatron more often too. This is my only 10 millimeters, so maybe I need more 10. Shido has a purple rig that this would match quickly with. Me and Shido might have to talk about trades. Tradesies. I can think of a couple tradesies we might work out. You know what rig I would like from Shido? We'll see. We have halvesies on it. Is that big Earl Jr. 5-way collab bong? It's not practical. None of us can really smoke out of it. Man, that's expensive. Dude, come over, Brian. Hit me up. Hit me up in the DMs or fuck the DMs. Text me. Yeah, let's do it. I'm usually free after like 7. You want to come over after 7, do a sesh? I'll bust out the. I got all the mics tied up now too. Bam. And if we want to get extra crazy, I might bust out the cool little secret microphones. So these have these little wires and shit, so we can run it. I've got everything for these microphones. So we can like just run these microphones from here to here, and you could be like undercover. This is the shit they use in spy technologies. It'd be under my shirt. You wouldn't even hear me. Want to hear something funny, Dank? When I got raided, they said Shido snitched on me. And I was talking to Shido at the time.
I don't even know Shido, and that sounds like bullshit to me.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what really happened was we were in a warehouse next to a fucking CrossFit. And you know, most CrossFit people are cops or no cops for some reason. I don't know why. CrossFit is a cop thing. And you know, we were over there and I kept saying, turn the music down, but we were cranking music and the weed smell, this, that, and the other. I guarantee it was them who ratted us out, but no, yeah, yeah, I know that would be cool. I might switch it out. If me and Cheeto have halvesies on that bong. That bong is an expensive bong. That was like 14,000 maybe. So you know, we got it when we were both kind of at the lab together. He has it. You know, we don't really pull it out because it's like this big and like a 5-way collab. So we'll see. We'll see. It'd be nice to get rid of it from being halvesies. But you never know. This rig's pretty expensive too. Like I said, I think that would be worth half of it. I think that'd be worth half of it. And he also has a peach geodome. So we'll see. Maybe she does even watching this. You never know. I always do these. You know, it's funny. I'm live so much. It's like, you know, in the real world, I don't lie a lot just because I'm just like always live all the time. So it's like usually I'm just like everything just comes right out. It's like right out of my head. So I love it. But I hate people who like stress out too much. But we'll get there.
That's how you knew they were full of shit, though. They
Well,
come in and tell you
exactly.
the shit.
Well, anytime
Tell
people
you shit.
hesitate, my brother always says I talk fast. You know, I'm a pretty quick talker. Me and my brother are pretty quick talkers, but that's because I don't think before I talk. I've had another. I've had everybody, their dog, their own family. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've had better friends than I've had family. I've had issues with family more than friends sometimes. You never know. Friends are always good. My boy Brian hooked it up. We had a great time on the cruise. I think I would have had such a less fun time without Brian Shanley. And then we had a couple couples from Michigan that were so much fun too. Anybody who went on that bar crawl with us was so much fun. This one girl, she came on there. I think she was missing her husband. I was missing my wife. And she helped me so much on the bar crawl. Cause I was like, you know, sometimes your wife always is there to like pick up that one thing you miss, you know? And I was like, you know, on the bar crawl, it was like, there was a lot going on. Usually my wife did everything. So it was kind of different to see it like at that point. So it was like, she kind of helped out a little, which helped quite a bit because like somebody's going to miss out on something. Yeah, buddy. And Brian, we had a great time. And Sonata, we actually pulled off this like rare random bar crawl. It was just me, him, one other dude, and then the two couples from Michigan. And man, we had the best time in Ensenada. That was another fun bar crawl. Brian hooked it up, had us going to the right places, having some good times. I forgot to do a dab marine on that last one. All right. Here, should I just do a solo? Man, this one, like you said, is that tire. Like you said, tire. Yeah, I could see tire. You know, sometimes I used to say leather, but leather is a better smell than this. Yeah, that's a tire. So this is the strawberry jam. Yeah, Brian, dude, another cruise coming up, baby. April 13th, Panorama. This is going to be a party cruise because you got to figure it is spring break, guys. So we're going to have a great time. I'm bringing no weed. I just bring my tie-dyes and my smile and my black hat. Every now and then somebody recognizes me. Me and Brian was hanging with this one dude, young kid. I didn't think he would recognize me, to be honest with you. He was like 22 or something. We were hanging with him and he was like, I do videos, blah, blah, blah. And then I said something like, I used to be Nick 420 CA. And he goes, and like Brian was talking, everybody, and he goes, wait. Because he just recognized the name, I guess. And I was like, yeah, I might have been a lot thinner back then, but yeah, I was Nick 420. See, I did the Dab Marines. And he goes, yeah. I was like, yeah. Everybody recognizes, you slam a beer and do a dab? All right, let's do a water Dab Marine here for that. But yeah, that got me famous. I did the beer ones forever, you know, and I did the strikeouts every now and then. But I remember, you know, most people wasn't dabbing back then. So I was like, fuck, I'm doing a Dab Marine then. One of our fans called it out. I was like, submarine. I think he even called it a submarine for a while. And I think one of my fans says, no, that's a Dab Marine. Well, one of my fans definitely called out submarine. Most people don't realize that was the first one. A submarine is a bong rip and a beer. Clarence. You know, I got her a sick package. It's already packed up right there on the counter. I don't want to say what's all in it, but I'm gonna say, I mean, it's no weed or anything like that, nothing illegal. But we got like some nice glass in there. We got some other goodies from stickers to papers and blunts and this, that, and the other. So she's got a lot of goodies coming for her. So I hope she enjoys it. Hope it helps her out. She has MS, so it should be good. Longtime fan, loves the coughs. You had a 12-foot bong once. Yeah, I did have a big one. I forget. I had some crazy ones. I think most people know us for like the dab until you die gauntlet. So me, Shido, G, and I won't say the other people's name, but me, Shido, and G was at another person's house. We brought over our extracts and we all put out a whole bunch of dabs. We did like 12 dabs or so each. And we all dab, 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 dab. And it was nonstop. So we had a whole bunch of rigs heating them up. I think they were titanium nails at the time. Were they carbon? They might have been even they might have been domes even. All right, guys. He's there. I got to get him added. Yeah, I got a nice bong in the bedroom. If I ever get some more weed from, I might have Shido come over Sunday. So we'll have Brian tomorrow. Shido Sunday. Shido Sunday. That's what, dude. Fucking that just came out of the blue. We got a new name for it. It's called Shido Sunday. Brian Saturday. Load your bowl, Troy, John Turbine, turn your vaporizers, pour your beers, pour your shots, get your dabs ready. Here we go, guys. That one tastes horrible. 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 Like literally, I went in the shop and I was like, I'm gonna buy every single David. I think David from San Diego has some. Every single one of these. They're like, we only got one. And then they said we got one of these stupid strawberry jams. I was like, ah. And then I said, how many of these you got? Because I knew these were diamonds. They go, we got 3. And I said, all right, give me all 3 diamonds, the last ice cream cake, and the jam. David, you got lucky. Let me go back up in the comments. Where the fuck is David's comment? David, I think, is in San Diego, if I recall. So he probably got the same shit as me. David, did I pass David? Oh no, David's in Chicago, he said. He got Jungle Boys? No shit. Just going back on some comments. But yeah, check this out, guys. You saw it, guys. Just like it. All right, guys. 9,000. I'll be honest, I wouldn't even sell it. I wouldn't even sell it for 9,000, to be honest. It probably is worth that. It's a very beautiful ring. I always was interested in like the shape of glass and shit. And when people made the Klein and you realize like, can you imagine making like, just ignore everything else. Just look at this bubble that goes up, and around and then back into itself. I mean, that's the Klein and it goes to the bottom, straight to the bottom. That's the Klein, right? And so he took that design, added a fucking inlet down to the perk, which is already pinched at the bottom because it is a Klein. Because technically a Klein could come out here. So imagine inner to outer, pretty crazy. And then it also comes over here to the back side. So after it goes through all this perk on this side, it'll dump it over here and then do a recycling back down to the bottom. I mean, crazy. You know, I don't know. I just like rigs like this. Who else makes some cool rigs?
Yeah, the function on that's really nice.
Yeah. Well, I had one guy who's a long time friend of mine. He would known him for a while, and I had a whole bunch of, most of my rigs are recyclers. And I was like, you understand that a recycler, you pull slow. Once it gets going, you can suck as hard as you want. He was like, really? Like, it just blew his fucking mind that that was even possible. All right, I see you now. Sorry. I've been invite to party. Up, Secco's on. Where the fuck's Secco? Secco's probably playing like, what is Secco playing? He likes, what is that game? The Western game? Red Dead Redemption 2 or whatever. I had it. I played it a little, but it was. Oh, look, we got extras. All right, guys, what are we gonna do here? Should we do deathmatch? Dude, did you ever see that prop hunt time? There was a prop hunt meme, which was hilarious. This dude went out to his backyard, right? And he's in his backyard, and his chair started blowing away because of the wind. It was on ice, it was like maybe an ice tent or whatever. And you just see the chair; it wasn't flipping or anything; it was just sliding away. And then the meme goes, "When you're playing prop hunt and find the guy, because it just looked like the chair was just running away." I'm never good at prop hunt, but I always like watching it. Like when I watch guys on in the YouTube, I'm like, man, I can be good like that. And then I play prop hunt. I'm not that good.
And then they like find you every time somehow.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, these guys on the internet, it's like I get a flat thing and he double jumps and places it up on the wall or something. It's like, wow, you're just crazy. And then he puts 5 around him, and I was like, hey, these guys are they play prop hunt better than me. All right. I guess what's his name? You can do whatever. Yeah. Nice. This was a good angle last time. All right, I'm gonna get another water poured. I was gonna say beer. That'd be cool. My dog needs a bath. I bathe my dog about once every 2 weeks, and it probably needs to be sooner. She's a white dog too, and she's so pampered, doesn't go out in the water or anything. But man, these dogs, I'm like really sensitive to smell. Maybe we should bathe her every week or so. Nice. Yeah, you'll get this camera angle set up eventually. We'll do this enough. Hell yeah, let's kick some ass. You got a PS5?
No, I have a Xbox X.
Oh, hold up your controller. I thought it was white. Is it white? Nice. Yeah. Oh, that's what threw me off.
Yeah, there's like a weird one. You can like pop the face off and replace it.
Can you switch out the joysticks?
Yeah.
Damn, I want to get that one. I think that's like $199 for the PS5.
Yeah, I think I paid like $130 or something with this, but I've had this one for almost for about 2.5 years now.
Well, that's worth it. I hate drift issues. I always end up with like drift issues. But these, I sometimes do the blow-in thing. I'm pretty good at I'm like an old school guy. I'll blow into my controller. Gotcha. I swear to God, they say he says I want to know what he says right there. Are you shitting me? I can't believe what just happened. I hate. Have you ever shot somebody and you stop shooting them? So you're like, they're dead and they don't die. Because I usually, I play enough where I'm like, usually know how many bullets it takes to kill somebody. And then you stop shooting and then they're just like, what are you doing? And they just kill you. Because you don't want to overshoot. Because my gun, I got it set up with like 60 bullets. I like a lot of ammo and shit. That way I can kill like 3 people. Usually it takes about 20 bullets a person. Why? Grant, you're Jewish? One of my girlfriends I dated for a long time was Jewish. There's a lot of Jewish community in Ohio, especially up in the Cleveland, Toledo area that you're at. You go to Cedar Point a lot?
I haven't been there in a long time. I used to go there a lot as a kid.
Yeah. Best roller coasters. Fuck that guy. He was laying on his back like a little whore. Wait.
My daddy says don't lay on the back like a little whore. You're gonna get killed.
I got other voices.
I got the daddy. Watch this. I just took him, stabbed him, ripped him, took him to hell.
That was perfect timing for that voice, to be honest with you.
Watch out, grenade established overhead.
Yeah, I dated this Jewish girl forever, but she goes, since I wasn't Jewish, she didn't want to date me, or didn't want to. She wouldn't marry me, basically.
No, you had to convert, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, I said I would, and she said, no, don't do that. And I don't want to marry you anyway. Because she knew I wouldn't be serious about it. It was just like a mathematical problem. Be like, all right, what do I got to do? Because I was agnostic. She knew I was agnostic. And I was like, all right, I got to be Jewish to marry you. No, we're not doing that. I literally dated her for like 2.5 years. It was pretty. I met all of her family. I dated all of her kosher meals. I loved everything about it. I love matzo ball soup and shit. But,
Watchdog helo incoming on your location.
you got to be Jewish, and you're not. Yeah, probably got to be Jewish. But also, I have a lot of tattoos, this, that, and the other. It was just, I don't know if I could be Jewish. I don't know.
Look alive. Hostile sentry turret active.
Got him. Grant's an alien. I basically grew up Lutheran. I was in a lot of Lutheran schools pretty much growing up, which was almost Catholic. We had some weird shit like bell choirs and shit. We had like we went to church on Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. Even in school, we went to church. That was the craziest part. We did a lot of shit in school. So, like, when you went to a Lutheran school, half your day is, like, learning about, like, the Bible. I'm going to find my wife in the Philippines, says Tinfoil. Well, people do. I don't know about that. I like somebody to challenge me. I'd be bored if somebody didn't. That's why I think it's hard to like date somebody who isn't like can't speak your same language like first language or whatever. Because like, it's just harder to communicate, I guess. But people do it. There's so many cool shows on YouTube and internet about that. What is it, like 90 Day Fiance and shit? Have you ever watched that?
Backup's not coming. You want to get out of this alive? Better step up.
Damn it, we're not doing good on this. We're gonna end it quickly. You're doing way better than me. 1.3. Fuck.
Tossing concussion. All operated to your nearest DCP. We just got our ass kicked. We need immediate extract.
No, I think we need a dab after that one.
Yeah.
90 Day Fiance. God, can you imagine somebody coming over to your country, like, from like they do Russia and all these different countries, and X amount of days to marry them? That'd be insane. I knew guys who did it too. I knew guys who did like Russian women.
Get like a translator app on your phone,
I'm sure every morning you'd learn it. Be like, whatever is like good morning, good breakfast, or whatever. Something you'd eventually learn it. Hopefully they would too. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I digress. All right, let's do a dab here. I'm gonna try some of this. Man, I want to open up the other one. I'm gonna open up this one someday. This might be like my ancient weed. I'm gonna have to ancient extract. I don't want to open it. All right, I'm gonna keep up with this one. What is this one again? Strawberry jam. We got his grow behind him. Beautiful grow. Got a couple diamonds. I'm dropping the diamonds. That's nice. That reminds me of my daily grow. I just chill by the tent. Hell yeah. It's like the daily grow all over again. All right. Yeah, if you go to the Philippines or Thailand, you got to be careful. New thing is, wait until you're 65 and get married to a girl 40. Well, yeah, I mean, look at who did. What was it? Did you see Bill Belichick with that girl? Bill Belichick, 72, 73, and his girlfriend was like 24, and they were at the Grammys or whatever, the ESPN Awards or whatever the fuck it was. That was crazy. Good for him, though. Everybody felt bad for him. They're both doing it for something. They're both happy. Did you see the smile on both of their faces? They were smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, right. Neither of them is definitely not there on their own accord. Definitely.
Well, that was a big age gap. I think Snoop Dogg did a joke, if I heard, that said something about like, remember this, remember that, remember this? And he goes, oh, yeah, Bill Belichick's wife wasn't even born yet. So that's always a little dig, I guess. But that was cool. I mean, it's crazy. Like I said, 24 and he's 72. That's a big, big age gap.
The woman that or I think it was like a girlfriend that Al Pacino had that he had a kid with. I think he was even older.
Yeah, for sure. Al Pacino. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it was like his helper or something. Yeah, that was crazy. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you think Leonardo DiCaprio does it all the time, right? He doesn't date over like 25.
Yeah.
Good for them. Everybody does it for a reason. That's why I think stuff like prostitution, all that stuff should be legal. I mean, it's their own body. It's weird how they do it. I learned that when we took over Japan, Japan was more open to prostitution, sexuality. They used weed in a lot of their like stuff, for their whatever they use, because they use a lot of herbal stuff, and they use weed. And they said right after the war took over, since we took over Japan when the war happened, a lot of religious people came over there, and they made them be more like, strict, where they got less about like, nudity, prostitution, weed, this, that, and the other. And you could look that up. It's crazy to see how much like, and it was all a religious thing that took over and basically changed an entire culture, which, they should still be doing it to this day because, their medicinal medicine helps so many people still. What are you looking at? You heating it up?
Yeah, I'm letting this bad boy cool down. I got this timer. See how
Nice.
red on.
I got to clean this nail out. I didn't even Q-tip it. So if you ever don't Q-tip a nail, you can always heat it up a little, then Q-tip it. Tinfoil, you're killing me. All right, guys, let's do this. Beautiful rig here. Let's go. Dab time. Do a little water dab marine here. Load your bolts, turn on your vaporizers, pour your beers, pour your shots, get your nails out, guys. You haven't seen this rig in a long time. We got the 10 millimeter nail. You'll start seeing it more often. We also got the 10 millimeter to 14 millimeter conversion for my Metatron. So we'll be busting that out because that's an 18 millimeter. And so we'll be taking that out here in a few days. We'll use this for a couple days, swap it out. But again, we got to take care of this rig. This is one of my more expensive, beautiful rigs here. It's the one Shido wants. If Shido gets it, it'd be kind of cool because he does have the Peach Geodome. So he would have his Peach Geodome plus his Peach Klein rig. So we'll see if we can kind of figure out a trade here or there. I don't know. I like this rig a lot too. This rig's tough to get around. What do you think? Would you trade for this? Dank, anybody in the comments?
I know Shido's probably got some really fire rigs, though.
He does. He does. Well, the one he wanted was like more of a flower rig. I don't know. I don't smoke a lot of flower. Even I don't know. We'll see. Me and Shido will talk. I'm sure he'll watch this video. He watches most of my videos. If not, it's even funnier. All right, guys. Load your bowls, turn on your vaporizers, pour your beers, pour your shots, get your dabs ready. We got some water dab marines here. Let's go.
Team faded.
Team faded.
Well, my wife's getting some shirts around and some other crap, and then once we get it all ready, we'll send you out a big package. That way you have stuff to review and some other goodies in there too.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm down. That was pretty good. How did I meet my wife? I met her on ICQ. So I was like an internet nerd, you know. I mean, that's the whole reason I got on YouTube and shit. I was always interested in being able to chat with people and see them. And I worked space technology on my Gehenna Lincoln. We used ICQ to help work the rover that went to Mars. And ICQ was one of the first internet video chat sites. And I saw she was at Otterbein, and I worked with some of the college basketball guys who went there. And yeah, so we met on ICQ pretty much. That was an old internet chat site. It was probably one of the first ones that did video chat back in the day, actually. Yeah, it was back in like, I think it started doing video chat in like 95, 96 maybe. We were doing video chats. And so my ICQ, it was hilarious. So when I met her, her ICQ number was like hundreds of thousands, like say 300,000 or something like that. My ICQ number back then was like 300 or something, because like I was one of the first guys who started working with ICQ, but it was only because I went through my high school. And my high school science teacher, we did like a space technology, and he went into the ICQ, and he was the one pushing us. So I had a super low ICQ number, which was interesting. And I didn't learn that until I met her, because I stopped using it for a while, and I ended up getting back on it. And then it was cool, is because ICQ had it set up where like the earlier you got on it, you had a smaller number. My number was super duper small because, like I said, I had it for a while. But yeah, back in the 95, 96, I did a test. I had to do a math test and a science test. And I had to get picked to be in a space technology class. And there was only one in Ohio, which is at Gehenna Lincoln. There was one in Texas. There was also one in like another country. And we got to move the rover like 5-6 inches. And we did a whole video chat, and it was all through ICQ. But yeah, it was good times. But yeah, I ended up going back on. That's how I met her. Team faded. Oh yeah, we got 3 guys now. Team faded. Kicking ass here. They're going to learn. What was your first date? I Well, I met her when she was at college, but she had a boyfriend. Our first date was in like, I think maybe around Troy or something like that. We went to an Applebee's. It was about our first date, something like that. One of those restaurants. Like I said, we're actually coming up on our 20-year anniversary, guys. So that'll be cool. At our wedding anniversary. Like I said, we knew each other before that. All right, load. Let's get it going, guys. All right, what are we doing? Team deathmatch. All right, let's do it. I like this map here.
Load your gun, grab your ammo.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking I need a new one for this one. Grab your balls, get your ammo. Go forward, don't go backwards. We're doing good. 7-2, guys. Grab your nuts. Make sure they're not coconuts. Damn it. Sorry. I saw that guy. I was like, fuck. Right, we're doing good, though. We got him doubled. Are you shitting me? All right, I'm going to go this way. Bubonics over here on kick. We got Bubonic on kick. We got Darth Blaze here on kick. And I'm running into a, well, shh. I'll say kick killed me. I looked down. My bad. Oh, this is a good spot. I see why people hang out over here. There's a lot of good hiding spots on this little corner. They always hang out over there. I notice when anybody like camps, it's always in that one corner. Fuck, I missed him 100%.
Get the counter UAV in the air. Get the UAV on grid.
Focusing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my. I can't wait for mine. 10-4. You're killing it. Making Alex uncomfortable.
Tackle deployed counter UAV. Requesting recon above.
Oh shit. Did I get him? Yes, I got him. Can I see her? Oh, fuck. Alright.
Little Nick here. Little Nick's gonna take over. I got a better KD than my dad. My dad's working on a -1. I've got a 2.25783. A lot of numbers, because I've been playing a lot of time.
Requesting CUAV above. TACOM, I need eyes overhead.
Shit. How did I miss that? I know he does. He's laughing. He just doesn't want to put LOL. That's an old school thing. He's like, ha 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 ha. Ha ha.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, I'm glitching. Why am I glitching? Slide and repeat. I need my slide sounds. Fuck. I can't believe this. Where am I at? -7. Team faded at the bottom, but we're winning. Wait till they see us laugh at the end. I'm going to be the bottom guy. I'll be like, haha, team faded won. I'll be in last place. Damn it. Nutshot Nick missed it. I was shooting him in the nuts, but it didn't work. All right, that worked. A little bit better. I do shoot nuts a lot. But you got to figure that should be a high death point. If you got shot in the nuts, would you keep shooting straight? I don't think so.
That'd be insta-kill.
Well, you definitely are going to stop shooting.
Enemy RTMC detected. Enemy UAV inbound.
Got him. Shot him in the head that time. Call me Headshot Nick. See, if Headshot Nick also works for the nuts. I killed him with the nut shots. Got him. Target deleted. Target deleted. Oh man, Nutshot Nick just got up to a fucking 1.0 KD. What happened there? A victory.
We're both at the bottom and we talk shit.
Team Faded wins again. You guys lose to Team Faded. Oh, so funny. I'm at the bottom, but I still got a 1.0 KD. Nice. All right, guys, how long? I'm gonna get off here for a little bit. I'm gonna be on later tonight, Dank. If you go on a game with me, I got to take care of some shit. But yeah, I'll bust out this rig more. 2.5 hours. Yeah, I'll be on tonight. I'm gonna try to get Shido on, and we'll see if we can get Brian too. So we'll see if we get Brian over tonight or tomorrow. I forget when he said, but yeah, we'll try to get Brian over. Where did he say that? Oh yeah, tomorrow. So yeah, we'll try to get Brian over tomorrow. Tonight we'll be just live, maybe do some zombies or multiplayer or something, and we'll have some good times tonight. But yeah, I'll be back on tonight, probably about 7, 8 o'clock. So let's game later.
Sounds good, man. Later on.
Awesome. Thanks for gaming with me, bud. Peace out, guys.